Da-da-da. Alrighty. Let's see if YouTube likes us. Yes, it does. Hopefully. It's getting there. Alrighty. Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Smudcast number 287. Was Joel actually disrespected in The Last of Us 2? Alrighty. This is a lot different from what we usually cover. And if you don't know the Smudcast, we cover a lot of crazy people on YouTube who say crazy things about things we all know aren't crazy. Like how good the Star Wars sequels are. And how we think...
how Robots from 2005 is about transgenderism and anti-capitalism.
Yes, these are the kinds of people we usually cover. But now we're going to be covering a person or a YouTuber by the name of AP Nerds. I don't know the channel. He has about almost 7,000 subs, and this video was made this year in February, which has about 12,000 views. It's a 21-minute video, and you can imagine the topic. So it's The Last of Us Part 2, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. I was watching the first few minutes. It's fine. I don't think it's going to be a controversial video. I don't think we're going to have much to say in the way of things not making sense. If you guys have a nice soft drink or maybe a fruity beverage, sit back and relax. It's not going to be painful. We're not going to have too many hair pulling scenes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's great. I unfortunately...
We might actually add more into this video too. So.
Hopefully.
Cool.
I just got
that.
Some really weak American beer that I have to get rid of, and it's like this is a good reason. This is a good excuse to watch something and have
it's better than French beer.
You know what? The French beer that I have had has actually been really good. But that's because I go to nice places that have good beer.
X to doubt.
I will show you pictures, but that's okay. Anyway,
Le Doubt.
It's actually Parisian beer. It's very good. Okay, so it's a 22-minute video. Won't take too long. Everyone likes the character of Joel from the first Last of Us. If you haven't played it, he's one of the most beloved characters.
He's almost as beloved as Winnie the Pooh.
He's pretty close.
Oh my god.
He's pretty close. Winnie the Pooh is one of those childhood memories, whereas The Last of Us is more of one of our high school memories.
He's also dummy thick.
He is.
I think he doesn't surpass Mario from Nintendo.
Okay, who's Winnie the Pooh or Joel? Who's what? Dummy thick what?
Well, Winnie's yellow at least, right?
I'm actually playing Mario Galaxy right now, so it's funny you bring up Mario.
Mario Galaxy is pretty cool. It's really a masterpiece from Nintendo.
Yeah. Especially the music. Oh my god.
Mario Galaxy is fantastic.
All right.
Yeah,
okay,
go buy Mario Galaxy.
Well, we're not trying to advocate people go out buy some games, but the Mario games.
I'm gonna fucking break
for
your
legal
legs.
reasons. for legal reasons, we disavow Eric.
No. You could say you like a game and go get it. I mean, that's fine. We're not reviewing it. If it was the actual topic, that'd be great because then we could talk about it. But no, there's lots of video games out there. The Last of Us is beloved. I know friends of mine who liked some of the gameplay, but love the story. They love the characters and their moments, and that's why they were anticipating the release of Last of Us 2. And boy, did they get really not... Well, let's just say their expectations were not met. So,
yeah, I never liked.
Only it broke sales.
Oh yeah, the sales were nuts.
Yeah, but I never liked The Last of Us. I never wanted to buy the sequel and everything.
I loved watching gameplay of the first one. If I would have played it myself, I can tell I would have really liked it because I love cinematic games like that.
I never got into it.
I know the story, but I would say it's not a type of game I would play. From the Naughty Dog, I prefer Uncharted rather than The Last of Us.
Yeah.
But that's my preference.
But my point is, even though I didn't enjoy it as much,
the only problem
with the franchise,
with
I can still see the problems with what happened with Joel, because it was just so bad. that whatever your feelings of The Last of Us, you should look at that and just go, no, this is just
wrong.
This is just bad writing.
It's funny because I really wanted to get the
clearly
second
an
one.
ideology behind it, and it's like, and
Yeah.
the way and everything around it, you just like this just reeks of shit. Everything about it. The Last of Us Part 2 is just, if it was like it's just like slime. I just think of slime it's just so slimy. Everything about it is slimy.
I was so close to buying it too because I really liked the first one.
Yeah,
and then those leaks
Yeah.
came out. Could not avoid them. Thank God I
Yeah,
read
but
the
like
leaks.
when the leaks came out, what I saw happen with Joel, what I saw with the actual game, the plot, Abby, everything, the way Neil Druckmann acted, and then like even with like the
You mean
Game
Cuckman?
Awards, it was just Neil fucking stupid cunt wank face. I don't care what his name is. It's just it's just slime. It just felt like physical. It's just sliminess. Everything about it was just like
Yeah.
vomit inducing. There's nothing positive about this game.
Hey, at least we
whole
learned
game
it.
this whole game
That's
is
the
so
point,
negative.
Hawk. That's the
This
point.
game is so negative.
At
right?
least we learned
It
that
could
if you save a
could
zebra,
probably.
Revenge
Yeah,
if you
is
save
bad.
a
like-
zebra, you are good.
It's like
Yeah. Abby good,
It's like
Ellie bad.
you could make someone HIV positive go HIV negative with this game. That's how negative this game is. It's just
You're saying
Yeah.
that he got the cure for AIDS.
Well, I like to use the comparison of, let's say, a depressing story like anything by Puccini. If you listen to Puccini's operas or operettas,
Mhm.
they are tragic. That's the point. But imagine Puccini did a romance story for the first one. Everyone's like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's beautiful. And then the second one he makes is a sequel to the romance story, and he goes back to making tragedies. And you're like, you just killed off this character. What are you doing? And not only that,
Yeah.
but you see the story arc of the person who killed the person you love. And you sit there going, this is not Puccini. Like, Puccini, what the hell are you doing? Are you going crazy? Do you realize that
Yeah.
this is not why we come to see your shows? We thought we were getting a romance. So
Yeah.
there's problems with the tone and nature of the
There's a lot of
genre you're
problems.
using when you are not only destroying or eliminating the protagonist or one of the protagonists that was representative of the player, but also the past experiences that we have. We literally have this connection with this made-up character who is essentially a best friend or family member, and seeing him brutally murdered in front of us is like losing a family member. And we can't just divorce ourselves and say, well, you know, Abby had her reasons. Like, yeah, we know the reasons. She's still a piece of crap, and we want to get rid of her.
And then everything
Also,
that Abby
people
does,
were
everything
not
that Abby does
against-
is more crappy. And then it's like the game tries to make you like it, but it's like she's such a piece of shit. It's like I cannot stress how much of a piece of shit that Abby is. That the game has to go above and beyond to try and make her
Right. Like, imagine...
Well,
not even
because it's
likable,
like,
just-
okay, it's like this.
yeah.
It's like, imagine if there was a 4th season of the original Star Trek, and on the pilot of the 4th season, Captain Kirk gets murdered, and then the rest of the season is about the random person that we're now going to hate being right for killing Kirk. Who in God's name would want that?
No
Yeah.
one.
Anita.
No one.
I like to think of replacing Abby with a beloved character as well. So take Spike Spiegel from Cowboy
So-
Bebop. You know his story arc, you know his tragedy, and then all of a sudden he does something really brutally horrible to some other beloved character. And you're like, whoa. So you have this on one hand, you are attracted to Spike Spiegel because he's cool, he has his own backstory, he has his own plot. It's like, oh, this is awesome. At the same time, he did something really shitty. So you're like, dude, this is wrong. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
You're not that kind of person. So you're
Because the
tarnishing.
story wasn't set up for it, and the character arcs weren't.
Yeah.
set
Oh
up.
yeah, I get that, but that's the thing.
Well-
Imagine then now we're not Spike Spiegel, we're just some random nobody that we don't care about doing something shitty, and then all of a sudden they go from really up high in your attitude to really, really down low, and now even lower, because they're doing all these horrible things. Then we learn about, having him or her cheat with Owen, because I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh god.
Breaking up with her entire organization that she spent her entire life with, getting all of her comrades killed.
Bears put it really well in one of the discussions about The Last of Us Part 2. Like Neil Druckmann, I didn't want to sexualize or diminish women or something like that.
Really?
And he goes, it literally makes women cheaters, showing sex, literally almost kills off the gays and everything like that. The gay relationship doesn't work and all these things. It's just a bit like, he's just a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Also, The Last of Us is an adult game. I don't know why a kid would play it.
Yeah, but
because they're role models, I guess.
Yeah.
I always try to measure this with my own metric of what attraction is. What attracts you to the story? There's characters, there's scenarios, there's settings, there's the lore, technology, mysticism, magic, whatever. So there's always something about, let's say, a character that we like, and I call that attraction. So I always use my example from my book, which is skill, social status, passion, the surface level of things, and their ideology. So there's multiple reasons. I'm sure you have other reasons why you like a character. I just categorize them as broadly as possible. So we like, let's say, Batman. He's got the motivation, and he's got passion, he's got skill. He doesn't have any special powers, although you could argue all his training is amazing, his intelligence is amazing, his social status is up there, but that's part of his demeanor as well as his identity. So he's changing his identity to become Batman. So he has this facade.
He's also a control monster.
He is a control freak. Oh yeah, his entire life went upside down, and he wanted to control every aspect of his life after that fact, so he could always be in control, and that includes not only his family or what's left of it, and his city and his business, and everything has to be manipulated and constantly under surveillance, like a crazy dictator. Although he doesn't come across as one.
Yeah, that's the key thing of Batman, because they always question Batman's sanities.
Exactly. So
I think there was,
if Batman were to slip and accidentally kill someone or intentionally kill someone, you'd be like, okay, why did he do that? Because all of a sudden he changed. There has to be.
That's also a lot of appeal for the character, is he has a lot of dramatic flair to him.
Oh yeah, he is always about revenge, but revenge over what, Batman? Who are you revenging against? Is it the thing that happened to your parents with Joe Chill? Is it something that happened to Robin with the joke? Like, what are you angry about? What's going on? And no one knows because it's Batman. He's a mystery. So the reader has to know, and we kind of get the idea. So there's this wonderful flavor of attraction about Batman, his ideology, if you take the no-kill rule, although if they have multiple stories of Batman who kills, and there's different flavors of that as well. And
yeah, some of them are revenge stories. Other ones are more just about justice.
Yeah, and you say so long as they explain it.
I think the no-kill rule actually adds more to Batman than he actually is killing, because he actually killing some criminals makes sense.
Oh, that's what I mean. So he has his ideology, which is against common sense. Like, common sense is kill this guy. The Joker's insane. You have to. The most logical conclusion is to kill the Joker.
That's basically Batman's version of the Prime Directive.
Yeah, he has
like
his categorical imperative. Yeah, he has this no-kill rule, which is fine. But everyone knows, and they do this with some Elseworlds. They do this with Gotham Knight, I think. And what's that crazy extreme version of Batman where he's basically the Joker. He says,
Batman Who Laughs.
Yes, thank you. He will kill people because it's more efficient, he has better things to do, and he's crazy. So there's other reasons why Batman will kill, but they always explain it because they know so much about the ethos of Batman, you have to get around that whole argument. And that's what we don't get with Abby. We do not get this well-reasoned, articulate understanding of Abby's mindset. All we get are multiple flashbacks, which do show her love of her dad, but that's assumed anyway, because why else would she go crazy over the death of a father that wasn't loved? Of course she loved her dad. We don't need to see the dad be a dad.
hold on. That's something that obviously shows the mindset of the people who wrote the story, where the idea of a child loving their father automatically is so foreign, they had to, like, bash it over our heads. No, seriously, what do you think about it?
She doesn't seem like that, because her emotions change so fast that it's kind of alien.
Matthias, she threw a ball for a dog. What more do you need? What more?
No, that's the thing that I was talking about, because she seems bipolar, because her emotions don't naturally change. They change instantly.
Let's put it this way: she cares so much about her pregnant friend that she fucks the guy who got her pregnant. Well, yeah.
I just want to.
It seems like he really rushed the script.
No, he didn't rush it. I think he went over it numerous times. I think he's just that bad of a writer. I think that he was so blinded by an ideology, and I think he's an absolute retard. And I'm going to call him a retard.
Also, people forget that it was Amy, the creator of Uncharted, that wrote the first The Last of Us.
Yeah, then she got fired.
Wait, really? Where's the?
Yeah.
It was
I thought she was just involved. I didn't think she was actually. She
wrote the script for The Last of Us.
Right. The idea came from Neil Druckmann's, like, they were brainstorming what to do, and he was essentially the director, producer, whatever you want to call it. They talked about what the idea for The Last of Us would be. He did that GDC conference that was like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And he talks about female role models, and he doesn't like Laura Croft, and he didn't like Samus Aran, and all this other bullshit. You're like, okay, fine, whatever. And then he brought up Anita Sarkeesian because, she's the hallmark of video game feminism or some nonsense. So he was the guy sort of overseeing it all, and then finally he wanted to do his own thing, didn't need a writer anymore, fires Annie Hennig. I don't know what happens to her. She was working on that Star Wars thing that also got canned, and then turned into the other Star Wars game that came out recently. So... yeah, no, it's sad to see the reason that made Naughty Dog on the map.
She's a really cool creator. She created the Legacy of Kain too.
Oh God, yeah, fantastic series.
No, but this is where I say I get the sliminess from with Neil Druckmann, because it's just it.
That's two games.
If you play her games, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, you can see that you have her soul there. That she put passion on those 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can also see it in the first Last of Us. Well, The Last of Us 2 is completely soulless because the person who made it in complete control has no soul. Everything about Abby is soulless. Everything about this game is soulless because it's just so. I'm struggling for the words to describe it. It's just. You go through it. There's no satisfaction in this game unless
I would say it's even counterintuitive in some cases.
Yeah, but there's no you get nothing out of this game in positively unless you're of a certain ideology.
Also, I know soul of a game is really loosely, but when I say you can feel the soul,
but here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with writing a pessimistic story arc, but the first game wasn't set up for it.
Yeah,
because I want to ask.
The second game was not really that well written.
Yeah, because I want to ask: was there a way to actually make a story like this work?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because most The Last of Us players were fine with Joel dying. It's how Joel died.
Yeah, it's the reasons and the method that Joel was killed, and then after the fact, what they did to make us try and like Abby, which was forced. Because once you do something, let's say I come over to your house, I burn your house down. Like, why did you do that? Oh, I have this problem with pyrotechnics, and I just go crazy, and I have this. insane urge to burn things. It's really not my fault. I don't know what. And you start to go, well, dude, that's really sad. Why did you burn my house down? Like it's this horrible thing I did to you, and I have my own reasons, but it's still a horrible, shitty thing. So you're gonna hate me because I just burned your livelihood and your investment and all this other stuff. And unless you're like a saint, he has pyrotechnic problems. Oh, it's like, what the hell? So, you're not going to like someone because they do something evil. So you have to have Abby. Abby has to be put on a pedestal really, really high. And then she does something really, really bad, like kill Joel. And then she's okay. So she's done some really good stuff and some really bad stuff to even it out.
It isn't just that they wrote a sympathetic villain. It was how the sympathetic villain was written.
No, she wasn't sympathetic.
The story that they were inserted into, that was what made it insulting.
She's not really sympathetic.
Well, I hate that it's so connected to the first game's ending. Like to act like it as if it was a bad thing to save the little girl. Like, I don't know.
This is another problem where the people who are defending Abby's actions or everything don't understand the fact that the original thing. There's no way that they're going to cure the entire thing.
Also, you can't make a vaccine from fungi.
Oh yeah.
You know what's fascinating? I actually read today. The funniest thing about Ellie is that because she's a lesbian, the probability of her having sex and having a baby is so slim. With the possible idea that this baby would be inoculated from whatever the zombie plague is. So this is the saddest thing to think about.
There was other people that were
but
immune to the fungi.
But the story isn't about them. It's always about Ellie. So she's never going to have kids. She's never going to have a blood transfusion or whatever. They're never going to figure out a cure from Ellie. And it'll never occur with her story.
She will not pass the genes.
Exactly. If there is a gene or if there is something genetic about it, there's nothing. So
it's kind of genetic because she can survive the fungi. If she had a son, the son would probably be immune to the fungus.
It would be the next logical step if you can't experiment on the body or the blood or whatever. Maybe it's a genetic factor. Maybe there's a neurological factor. Like, we don't know. And there's no possibility. There's nothing. There's no skin graft.
It is funny because it plays with natural selection a little bit too.
Also, as well, going with the story, with everything, that ending for Ellie is so bleak as well.
You didn't like it?
Well,
you didn't like that she couldn't play the guitar.
I don't give it, like, nowadays. I really don't give a toss.
Honestly, Ellie deserved better. Yeah, she deserved a better.
Yeah,
better
I mean, she deserves better. But now I don't care. I don't care anything about this game. Even it's just like whatever. This is obviously just thing. But for all the people shouting and screaming about more diversity and more representation, how bad does it feel that the only properly gay main character, Ellie, because Dina is obviously bi, at a push, because, to be honest with you, I don't even think Dina's actually a lesbian. It just feels
she
kind of
banged Jesse,
but with
right?
Ellie,
So.
yeah, exactly. But the thing is, it's like this. Ellie ends up on her own with her hand destroyed, so she can never play the guitar, alone with nobody. Never got revenge, never got anything, isn't completely broken. Wow.
Like, again, Yokai is writing. There is nothing wrong in writing a pessimistic story, but the ending was really not that great.
Yeah,
but
what I'm saying is
headcanon. It's a happy ending.
Yeah, I know.
Well, this is the problem with, again, not understanding character behavior. The entire plot for Ellie was revenge, and then it just does not become revenge anymore. And the only reason that she does not take revenge is she had a flashback. She had a memory. All of a sudden, flash before her eyes while she's strangling the person who just bit her finger off, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going to stop doing this. I feel better now."
In fact, she would get even more angrier for remembering
Martha!
Joe remembering Joe playing the guitar.
Right. This is such
why did you say that name?
This is such a simple thing, and it's such a clear. If you commit yourself to, like, she is losing her mind as the story progresses, and she gets to that point at the end where she is out of it. She is exhausted. Now, you could argue
she remembers Joe. She remembers Joe, and she gets even more angry.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, she's just feeling nothing except from pain and depression. And if you see a memory of a person you love, that would not make you go, oh, you know what? All this pain and depression is gone. No, you are in a hole. You're going to need a lot of time to get out of that hole. And one little memory is not going to bring you up above the hole into this realm of forgiveness.
You more.
It won't happen that quickly. So it does not make sense for her to behave that way. Whereas everything in the game was pointing to killing Abby, and she doesn't get her resolution.
Yeah, it's almost like the flashback was sort of a Deus Ex Machina, rather than a positive character arc.
If it was something like Joel was teaching her forgiveness and she forgot it, and all of a sudden it clicks on her, you might make the argument there. You might. But there's nothing in that flashback, which we see after the fact, to make it look as if, oh, that's a great memory of Joel. I'm glad I remembered that because now I didn't have to kill Abby and I would have felt horrible after. It's like, no.
Isn't he just playing the guitar?
He's talking to her about the lie he made trying to save her life about killing all those dudes. Right. And she says, don't ever speak to me again. Like, she ended the story feeling so sad that she never got to talk to Joel again because she could never make amends or figure out what happened between the two. And it was like, holy crap, that's going to get you out of a murderous rage of revenge and jump to forgiveness?
Yeah, no.
Well, I forget. Was the memory before she went after Abby, or was it after?
It was the last one.
No, it was. She was strangling Abby.
Yeah.
And
I know there's that quick flash, but there's that whole scene with Joel. Wasn't there? Wasn't that played before she went after Abby? And I mean, that's why she went after Abby? I don't know. I kind of forgot.
No, after. She found Abby and she's strangling Abby, and then she remembers...
She's shoving Abby's head under the water. So, and this flashback happened. Yeah. Literally at that point. Literally saves Abby's life.
Anyway, let's get on with the video.
Flashback here.
Here's Joe Crazy. My favorite games from Naughty Dog was the first 3 Jak and Jackster games. Those games are my childhood. The direction of modern Naughty Dog saddens me. Okay. Ram Jamaram. To answer the topic, no, he was murdered at the end. Oh, okay. Solid Redfield Gaming. Ethan Winters' death in Resident Evil 8 is the right way to kill a protagonist. He goes out with a literal bang to save his daughter. Isn't that nice?
Wait,
wow, thanks for spoilers.
So, spoilers. So, who died in Resident Evil 8?
La 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 la.
Relax, Hawk. I don't know too.
Anyway,
it's fine. I already knew that.
Anyway, let's get going. It's gonna be 21 minutes.
The main spoiler is.
Let's go.
Let's go.
This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Joel Miller, one of the most beloved video game characters of all time, and truly one of the reasons why the original The Last of Us was such a success. Many fans of this franchise loved Joel because of how expertly Naughty Dog showed his flaws as a character, and made us feel for a broken man that lost absolutely everything on Outbreak Day. He lost his only daughter Sarah, and after that, he continued to lose his humanity by being on both sides, meaning that he has done unforgiving things to just survive, losing his humanity to the point where his brother Tommy says that he only has nightmares from the days that they were hunters, and that he wanted nothing to do with his own brother Joel. And that kind of says it all. Even if we start the game with a broken man who has done terrible things to just survive and become a human being that basically we as a society would stay away from and will not sympathize with, Naughty Dog with their magic still made it possible for us to fall in love with this character because of the relationship Joel built with Ellie while they traveled throughout America in search for the Fireflies for a possible cure. The journey that we went from seeing a broken, ruthless, heartless old man to a loving father who would even sacrifice humanity's only chance for obtaining a cure just to save his beloved Ellie. That moved us as fans of this franchise and truly is one of the most memorable scenes in gaming history. Even after Joel doing some terrible things on and off screen, we still grew to understand and even love him so much that he is basically considered one of the best and most loved video game characters of all time with just one game. And then The Last of Us Part 2 happens, and the love people have for Joel's character gets tested, with Joel paying the ultimate price for his crimes in the first The Last of Us.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
Hero.
This scene and
This
the
scene is
decision
so
by
well
Naughty Dog
constructed.
making us experience Joel's death in the first hours of the game came to be basically one of the most controversial decisions ever made in gaming history. The outrage when gamers found out that Joel perished when the leaks of this game occurred back in April 2020 was so big that it seemed like almost every content creator and person online that knew about Joel's death and how it happened were so disgusted. Many people claimed that this was a spit in the face to a lot of The Last of Us fans, and that this was the most disrespectful thing Naughty Dog could have ever done to Joel's character. Now, is this actually accurate? Do I feel this way about Naughty Dog's decision? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discuss right now. Remember, this is just my opinion and it's not straight facts, so please feel free to tell me your opinions in the comment section down below. Before we continue...
Alright, he's going to just sell us on his VPN, so we're just going to skip this.
Yeah.
No, I want to buy it.
No, shut up. Oh my god.
Alright.
That's a
My
long
favorite
ad.
part of the video.
So try Surfshark VPN today, risk-free, and stay safe from the jerks on the internet.
Oh no.
Alright, let's get back to the video.
No, it's called Twitter.
So, before I give my opinions on if I think this was a total disrespect to Joel or not, let's try to understand why some people think it's an actual disrespect to Joel and see it from their points of view. So let's go back to when Abby was running away from the hordes of infected and getting saved by Joel in the process. This is where some people claim Joel being disrespected by Naughty Dog starts. The popular argument that people present is that Joel and Tommy, who are ex-hunters and fireflies, should never trust a stranger and enter a house filled with even more strangers and be okay with it, even if they're being persecuted by a horde of infected. Joel in the first The Last of Us seemed to trust almost no strangers. A great example is when Joel ran over an apparent injured straggler because he knew that this was basically a hunter tactic to make you feel sympathy for them, lower your guard down, and then they attack you. So the fact that Joel and Tommy went inside a house filled with people they basically don't know, casually offered them to go back to Jackson to stock up on supplies, and even gave them their names to these strangers, for some gamers, this was the biggest out-of-character moment for Joel and Tommy. Many gamers claim that Naughty Dog forced this scenario by making Joel and Tommy act so out of character because it was supposedly the easiest and laziest way to get rid of Joel and start the whole revenge story. Also, there's some people that claim that this was apparently done to push some forward leftist political agendas by getting rid of beloved men like Joel.
Yes.
And on top of that, Joel being tortured to death with a golf club by Abby and forcing Ellie and the audience to experience this horrific scene and then seeing
so
Joel's
ridiculous.
death with the final blow to his head.
I've also noticed something.
It was just
she
too
takes off her
much for
jacket
some
as well.
people. I guess you can say
To do
Nanny
this.
spitting on Joel when he died was basically
yeah.
what a lot of people felt that Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog did to Joel's character and to the fans.
Yeah,
of The
because
Last of
that
Us.
is Neil
What makes
Druckmann.
this all worse is that all of this happened in the first 2 hours of a 25 to 30 hour game.
Oh, right. Okay, I have. Sorry. Just to think, when what he's saying is all correct, but he's portraying it in a way that it seems like it's kind of silly that people would think this. It's like Manny is based off of Neil Druckmann. It's his likeness.
Wasn't it some
Also,
other
this
guy
scene
though?
was so poor. They were so poor constructed. The scene. Yeah.
So when they're saying that Neil Druckmann was spitting on Joel, he was literally, that's Neil Druckmann spitting on Joel right there.
Actually, him mocapping the character, or
he did do some mocap. I don't know if he was the actual character and he mocapped that Manny character. I don't know.
But it's his likeness. The character's face and everything is based on Neil Druckmann.
Right. Anyway, here's Joe Crazy, right. But it wasn't a crime, though. The Fireflies pretty much screwed him over at the end. We're talking about the end of The Last of Us Part 1, where they pretty much take all of his stuff, and they say, okay, time for you to go. And he's at that point where he's about to go, and he just stands there, and he turns around and decides to go fight everyone and get Ellie out of there. So it was one of those things where they did him poorly. They took away his proverbial daughter, and they just goodbye. Like,
they left him with no way to get anywhere. They literally just kicked him out to die.
And I don't know why.
They took all his gear.
I don't know why they.
Why? Because the Fireflies are bastards.
Like, if they gave him everything, he would still have plenty of motivation to go and get Ellie. And I think that would have made more sense because, his focus is Ellie. That's his reason to get out of here and do things and protect her. So further pushing him doesn't cloud the motive.
Yeah.
But it makes it like, how much more motivation how much do you want to piss this guy off? You should be treating him like gold and trying to explain to him this is like when there's people who constantly annoy you for like every single day, and then you snap back and go, whoa, why are you snapping back? Jeez, chill, calm down. It's like, what? Like, you've got on my nerves for like the last 6 months, and I've turned around and like gone, fucking stop, and you're now going like, whoa, that's like overreacting. You shouldn't have done that. All I was doing was just,
because you're a reactionary.
Like. Yeah. But another point I want to point out, people have said it was just to push left-wing radical ideas. Well, yes, Neil Druckmann has said that is exactly what it was about. Do these people not listen to what the creators say?
I mean, to be fair, he is saying his opinion, so I can kind of
I know that, but why is it with these people who I can see being, I want to be in the center, and I don't want to, either side. I want to see both sides. Why do they always ignore when the person who's clearly radically far left literally sits and goes, no, everything's about ideology. Yeah, I did this because I just can't stand blah, X, Y, and Z. And yet these people on these Tim Pools are like, well, I've got, there's no real evidence of, and it's like, no, it's right there. So I get that he's just saying this is like, well, this is the argument, and I'm gonna give my opinion, but he says it in a way that it's like, everything he says is so easily answered by, here's Neil Druckmann, a 10-minute interview. Everything that he says will prove that everything that we've said is correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, here's Tyler Preston asking me to read the donation he sent to me. And the reason why I didn't do it is because it's a very esoteric question, but I'll read it anyway because I don't think anyone in the chat will know. I have a hypothetical question. What form of torture would you rather read? My Chan's daily life in one sitting, or replay The Last of Us 2? For me personally, I would choose My Chan's because it's shorter. Okay, if you guys don't know what My Chan's daily life is, think of a...
Is it anything to do with anime?
Yeah, manga.
I think it's whipping.
Manga.
I'll take anime.
Right, okay.
It's
I take the
weep.
weep.
Man, come on. Yeah, do the weep stuff. Yeah.
It's not for everyone, guys. This is pretty gruesome stuff.
I'll take the weep stuff. I never want to go through The Last of Us Part 2 ever.
Be off topic. We should do like LiteratureDevil is doing. Play some virtual novels too, just to laugh.
This is like gore and porn, and it's just crazy. Like the main character gets brutalized, killed, and comes back to life just so she could get raped again by whomever. And
I'll take the weep. Smudge, did I stutter? I'll take the weep.
I will take that.
You'll take because no one knows.
Abby get butt rammed again.
No one knows what the hell we're talking. We say My Chance Daily. I'm like, oh god, don't read that. Anyway, let's try and keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
In the beginning, many people who thought that they were going to get another adventure with Ellie and Joel, but this time with revenge, instead were extremely disappointed because they played the game, they saw how it was, and it wasn't that. The trailers of this game basically in a way misled us to believe that this was the case. All of this adds even more fuel to the argument that Naughty Dog disrespected Joel in almost every single way they possibly could. And Joel's character deserved so much more than what he...
Well, I would say it could be a lot worse, but this is pretty bad, so...
Yeah, I mean...
They didn't check all the boxes, but there's a lot lit up, so...
There wasn't a picture, there wasn't like a cutaway to like... Neil Druckmann going, "You're a fucking cunt, die you fucking bastard," rubbing his nuts over like a picture of Joel. But he could. Yeah, this is.
He would have if he could.
Yeah.
The idea was
also, there's ways to make this worse.
To shock the audience in the horrific scene that motivates Ellie throughout the story, and this should be all you need. If this happened to your dad, most people, I would think, unless they're like talked out of it or the police are going to take care of it, are going to go on a one-man, one-woman operation of murder of whoever did this to your family member. This is just eye for an eye mentality. So,
though, then again, the people who made this and who it's aiming for don't have connections to their parents.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. This is an odd thing to bring up because it's kind of obvious to most people what revenge is, but because the ending of the game drops the plot.
We're talking about people who don't understand anything. They're narcissists who just care about themselves. Everyone else is just an NPC in their world who must do as they wish. So when you see someone like Ellie get upset about Joel's death, it has to be so over the top and disgusting like that for them to go, maybe I would would sort of do this at a stretch.
Well, I hate that they seem to they forget that it's a post-apocalyptic story. There's no justice that's going to be done unless you take it.
The only justification I could rationalize for Ellie's behavior was that she somehow found some moment of enlightenment that she's better. She thinks she's better than murder. She's better than revenge, and she realizes that this will not make things better for her. But there's no explanation there's no realization to the audience that she thinks this way, or that this will work better for her, when everything is telling us revenge is the only way. The entire story is set up that way.
Yeah, that was going to say. Even if you have this kind of rationalization, the end is still weak because there's no way explaining this thought. There's no metaphor of, I don't know, the sun being behind her head, saying that she's now better than what she was.
It's basically just sad porn. If you want a really sad game that you get nothing out of, just play this game and you'll be sad. So
There's better sad games than TLOU 2.
No.
I don't know. This is pretty bad. This is way up there for just downer feeling
Yeah, but
stories.
Sad. What I mean, the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have depressing games where you don't win and things don't work out. But with this, it's just the only positive stuff is Abby stuff, and that I think that's the problem. Where other games which are downers, like I'll bring up with like Red Dead, because both those games end on downer notes. There's still happy bits with the characters you like, while with this, it's all the happy stuff, put happy in quotation marks, happens with a character you fucking despise.
Yeah, I mean, at least justice was done in those games, unlike this one.
Yeah, justice happens. Yeah, like in the first Red Dead, Ross gets his comeuppance, in the second, Micah gets his comeuppance, and all this. So you still have that little bit of, you give the player something. With this, Joel gets brutally murdered, so you want revenge against Abby. It never happens. And then Abby wants revenge against Ellie because Ellie's killed her friends, and that never happens. So, and then Ellie gets nothing, and Abby just rows away in a boat with a kid with a shaved head. And it's just like, so what, right? And so even if you did like Abby as a character, she gets nothing. She's lost everything.
And that's the weird thing is that Abby's tied up. Ellie goes, saves her because she wanted revenge. And she could have just left her up there, but no, she had to cut her down. Yeah. We have to have some sort of generic fight. And then she decides not to kill her. And it's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I would have loved it.
Exactly.
I would have loved it if she just sat there and watched her die, and it just ends.
Yeah.
Be like,
exactly.
If she got a little fold out chair.
Yeah.
Open a cold beer and just watch her slowly die.
You still have a sad ending with Abby dying.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a sad ending. I mean, most people think of it as a good ending, but I'm sure you could pretend.
That, for the character.
Yeah.
For Ellie, would still be a sad ending, because even if she revenged Joe, what will? Yeah. What is the point? He will not come back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She will still remember.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but the only way forward for this series is the adventures of Abby and Lev, and you're like, oh, great.
Be great if Ellie wakes up and it was just a bad dream. Nothing actually happened.
Oh no.
No, she wakes up and Joel's in the shower like Dallas.
Yeah, totally. We
that's an old reference that I'm sure very few people get.
Let's not try and bring up any more Lost or Dallas references. Okay, stop. Coolman229. I just got a notification for the stream, and I want to immediately say that Joel was disrespected, and it required retconning the events of The Last of Us to make Joel look bad. What was the retcon in The Last of Us?
I think it was those audio tapes.
Yeah, there's a lot of the way that it changes, as in like to be Abby's dad, as the doctor, the way that it's the way that the portrayal of Ellie's sacrifice, the way that the Fireflies are portrayed as well. They're portrayed a lot more.
Yeah, because they made it seem like the cure was going to work, but in part one, it was never clear that it was going to work.
Yeah, but also the Firefly, it felt like the Fireflies were in part one. The Fireflies were just equally grey in this world that is just all grey. While in part two, they're so utterly fucking noble and paragons of goodliness that animals deliberately trap themselves just to be saved by them. So yeah, there's a lot of a retcon in it. So
All right. Anyway,
Hey ho.
let's go.
Got in part 2. Some people argue that if he had to die, he should have died a hero's death, saving Ellie in the process, or just for a bigger cause. Not just to die so suddenly and in such a horrific way. For gamers, Joel deserved better, and Naughty Dog truly disrespected this beloved character in their eyes. Now, was Joel actually disrespected by Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann? In my honest opinion, no. And here's why. Let's go back to The Last of Us. Joel was a loving father to Sarah, and he was just an ordinary man. He killed his first ever human being when his neighbor got infected, and you see how this changed him. You can see how he's never done this before, and all he wants to do right now is save himself with his daughter Sarah and Tommy. And then he loses Sarah, and he becomes a broken man. And for the next 20 years, Joel lost himself doing despicable things, not caring.
Yeah, you know when you lose a kid, it will fucking break you. I don't know how to explain that to people.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
of course it does.
It feels like these people go. He lost his daughter Sarah, and like he just was broken for the next 20 years. Yes. He's going to be broken for a lot longer than that. It's actually the most
important thing in your life.
Yeah.
Well, of course you will be broken.
No father should have to bury his child. I'm not hear where that's referenced from. Everyone should know where that's referenced from. But
I'm uncultured.
I will say, if you don't know this reference, dude, what are you doing with your life?
But here's the thing.
I'm broken.
It's one of these things where they gloss over Joel losing his daughter at the start of the game, as in like it's nothing, as in like it's just a bad Tuesday, as in it's.
I mean, he's just trying to explain himself. I mean, I don't know.
Well, he's trying to explain why Joel's
his opinions. We are just adding something.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
okay, right.
Well, he doesn't think Joel was disrespected, and he's now trying to say why he doesn't think Joel was disrespected. But the fact of the matter is, you can't start Joel wasn't disrespected after watching, and then say, well, his daughter died in such a way that it's like, yeah, it's like he was broken. It's like, yeah, he will be.
And he has to face a crazy ass world by himself now.
Yeah.
You know, because like we don't know
save his child.
How crazy this shit went in 20 years.
Yeah, but he couldn't save his child. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Not being able to help your child is the worst thing that can happen when you're a parent. Feeling powerless to help your child is the worst thing that you can feel, and it's something that gnaws on you all the time. If as a parent, that you just but whatever you did wasn't good enough, and if your child dies because your actions, because he'll be thinking it's always his actions what he did, because he was the adult, he was meant to protect it, and he failed, and that's going to play in him forever. So yeah, of course he's going to be depressed with what he does and not care. But I feel it's something that's always glossed over by these people, because, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think these people have kids, and I don't think these people understand the love between father-daughter, father-son, mother-daughter, mother-son, and stuff like that. It's such a big thing. So
yeah, it's this weird thing where they like the first game, and yet somehow they like the second game. I just don't understand how. Like, it's like, all right, go ahead, I guess. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I can just see this is going to be like, but I've said all this stuff, and it's quite easy to prove that everything that I've just said was correct. But this is my opinion. It's like, mate, you're now going down this route where you're going to say Joel's not been disrespected, and you're going to you're going to go into headcanon. I know you are. You're going to go into making connecting dots that shouldn't be connected. You're going to make wild jumps of logic. I know exactly where this is gonna head down, and because I knew he was gonna bring up the daughter thing straight away as just like an oversight thing, as in like, you know, he's been depressed and all this sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like, what do you expect?
It would be less crazy than the other headcanons videos we watched.
I mean, would you say when Joel is disrespected, would you say that as an objective fact, or would you say that as a subjective opinion?
It's an objective fact that he was disrespected.
Yeah, it is pretty objective. You can't say it is subjective.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The only way to make it more objective is if Neil Druckmann literally said the words, "I don't like Joel," because he's nearly said that, and everything he's done. But he's not literally said those words, and that's the only way it could become more objective. Subjectively, yeah, as well. In every case, yeah, they disrespected him. Anyone who believes otherwise isn't looking at the game through anything other than ideological eyes, and that's it.
And
yeah, that's it. So anyway, we can carry on. I've had my little.
All right.
Not caring anyone, basically losing who he was 20 years ago in order to survive. Truly a heartless, cruel old man. Then enters Ellie, a beautiful young girl with a beautiful and innocent soul. And at that moment, Joel's life is gonna change forever. He embarks on a journey to look for the Fireflies to see if they can extract a vaccine because Ellie is immune. And in that journey, we see a monster in Joel slowly but surely regaining his humanity back by basically opening up little by little to his little girl Ellie, to the point where he would even call her his baby girl, just like he did with Sarah. Joel no longer is the old, ruthless, heartless old man that he was before. Now he's a new Joel. A new Joel came to life. Some people, in my opinion, are actually a little bit confused because most people think that Joel in part 2 was actually a different and out of character Joel. But people actually fail to see the Joel that we see in part 2 is actually the continuation of Joel's new personality from part 1.
I'm sorry.
Not really.
What do you? Okay. Does that make sense? He becomes like a new character.
There's not much to work with the first hour.
I mean, he changed it. You can say he changed it because he's more careful and he loves Ellie. I wouldn't say his survival instincts would go away. That's the thing.
Not seeing the fact that he's one of the people who look after the town as well.
Also, that's the thing. People don't really have a bad thing with it. It is his lack of survival instincts. That I don't think it would go away from his personality. First, because it is a ruthless world. It is a ruthless world. You still need to have the survival instincts.
Well, and he was on a scout mission. I think he was looking for supplies or something. But they also seem to forget that, okay, during those 4 years, because Joel and Ellie get into a heated argument when she finds out the truth, right? And they pretty much are separate from one another. So, I don't know. He's kind of detached from her again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Even if he changes in a certain way, the change would not affect the survival instincts.
Yeah, you can't. No offense, but you can't go 20 years not trusting people, right? Because you could die. To then trust heavily armed people, like, you know, in an instant, and it's just It doesn't work.
Also,
like that.
this is something that actually happens when you get more older. It's really hard to change It needs to be something really, really, really big to change yourself to your character.
Apparently, Druckmann's explanation a while back was that he was sizing the group up or something. That's why he stand in front of in the middle of the group, because he was trying to size them up. I don't know how that works, but
wait, I'm sorry, what?
That was
trying to size them up.
Yeah, without his gear, it was a bunch of strangers right in the middle of the group. I think he said that explanation in the Kind of Funny Games interview. I'll have to look back, but that was the explanation apparently.
There's no way that you go into a group of people, stand in the middle to size them up.
No?
No. Also, you don't act, if you're sizing people up, you don't act surprised when they say Joel. Sounds like you heard of us or something. And it's like, yeah, that sounds like someone who's sizing up the room, yeah.
Well, what's funny is that they were looking for Tommy. They didn't gasp at Tommy. They only gasped for Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
There's so much wrong with that.
Yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah.
We can keep going on.
And I knew Joel began in the finale of the winter section, where Joel hugs Ellie after she managed to kill David, and didn't let go until he made Ellie know that he was there for her. In that moment, Joel became her father, and Ellie became his daughter. In that moment, Joel opened his heart completely and learned to love once again for the first time in 20 years since the death of his baby girl Sarah. That love made Joel sacrifice humanity's last chance for a cure, just so Ellie could grow up.
No!
That is all a father would want for their child, and Joel made sure of that. After that major event, Joel no longer had to worry to survive in a cruel world, because him and Ellie now live in a safe community in Jackson, where he can be a father to Ellie.
No, the roof is
still a cruel world.
No! Headcanon!
4 years have passed since the events of the first game, and you can
How
see
much
Ellie and
headcanon
Joel
can we do?
basically living a peaceful life, always having food at the table, clearing infected on patrol, and having a great social life with a
Hold on. A peaceful life, always clear and infected on patrol. No, then.
They need to protect Jackson. They are on a community, but
So it's not a peaceful life then.
They need to.
You can't be blasting bullets into infected people and say, "Wow, peacefully blowing the infected away with my shotty."
And I'm sure there's raiders
protect
too.
against raiders too.
Yeah,
the raiders.
So number one, he's going for headcanon because the headcanon they could have made the cure. No, they couldn't. It is just pure headcanon by people who don't understand how vaccines and cures are made and distributed. Right?
Think about the supplies too, right? Where's the food coming from? Where's all that all the medical resources that you need?
Yeah,
Another thing too is when the Firefly, let's just say the Fireflies made the cure. How many factions would not go to war against the Fireflies just to take the cure?
Yeah, there'd be a huge war to get control of the vaccine. Right, so anyway, it's headcanon. And another thing, you cannot say they live a peaceful life and then the next words, then clearing out infected on patrols, because then that's not a peaceful life, because you don't need... A peaceful life doesn't require patrols.
That's always the weird thing.
Do you go on patrol? Do you go on patrol around your streets with guns?
Yes. No, I'm just joking.
No, you don't, do you? You just go to bed.
I think
that's a peaceful life.
I think the YouTuber just being a bit overtly dramatic. He's not trying to relate it to the story. He's giving the ideal that, if only he had a daughter and he can run away and have a peaceful life and things would be better. And it's like, he has this idea of what Joel might be experiencing, or through Joel, what he might be experiencing in a sequel.
You could say it's
a
more happy,
peaceful.
but not
It's
peaceful.
It's a more peaceful life than the life he had. But then that's like saying World War One was a bit more peaceful than World War Two, right? You know, because it lasted shorter.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really changed is that he's just not alone now. You know?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you have someone to be with, and he can take care.
Instead of being in, was it Boston that it started off in the last game?
I think it is on the East Coast.
Right. So and then in Boston you've got like the remnants of whatever the government is, with like draconian law, you know, quarantines and all this sort of stuff, compared to Jackson, where it's just an open community where everyone works together.
Yeah, he was on the remnants of the government.
Yeah. So, obviously, it's a lot more peaceful in Jackson than it is in Boston, but that doesn't mean it's a completely peaceful life. And also, can I just say something? You know, when you start loving somebody, right? It doesn't automatically mean you become an airhead who can't do fucking anything, to the point where you get jumped by a group of crazies.
Well, even the flashback scenes, he seemed more consistent. Than in the present day. You know, still he wants Ellie to not tell anybody about her condition, because he thinks he can't trust anybody with that information.
Yeah,
that's the weird thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is, and I'm going to say this again. We are going to go into headcanon again to make this point, because that's all these people have. So I'm just going to sit back, have my nice little drink of Coca-Cola, relax, have some Maltesers, and not care because it's headcanon. So
all right, here's Mike Testa. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Oh God,
we talking about Josh Whedon's Firefly or no? No, we're not. Thank you, Mike.
I wish we would, because it's not bad.
Anyway,
besides the ending.
Thank you, Mike. Come again.
Yes, thank you as always, Michael.
Social life of every community that has the philosophy of still believing in humanity. Part 2 makes sure that we understand how the Jackson community actually operates, with notes scattered throughout the patrol section of the game, and even with Tommy inviting the group of strangers before Joel's death to Jackson to stock up on supplies. That's a great example as well. Maria and Tommy run Jackson with the philosophy of bringing strangers into Jackson, helping them out, trading with them, and even having some strangers become part of the Jackson community. Joel and Ellie have been exposed to this way of living for 4 years.
We don't see that,
so it shouldn't be a surprise to see Joel acting a little bit different from how he was before he opened up completely with Ellie in part 1. How can we expect anyone to be the same person they were 4 years ago? That is just not realistic.
4 years is not a long time!
A person who was struggling to survive and living in a corrupt...
Again, this year thing. 4 years is not a long time. What is it with these people? What is it with these people? And there's been a passage of time, so they must be different. No,
it was kind of lagging a little bit. What did he say exactly?
It's been 4 years. How can we expect him to be the same person he was 4 years ago? Quite easily, very easily. My dad is still the same person he was 27 years ago when I was born.
I've known people that worked the same job for 4 years.
Also, it's not like that. The communities integrate new people. The people need to go to the Jackson. You just don't invite strangers to Jacksonville.
Yeah, you don't. No.
Why not?
Why yes?
Anyway, really?
Are you racist?
The Romans didn't build a wall to keep inviting people.
Yeah, you don't build a wall to invite people in.
You could make an argument of the nature of the world being post-apocalyptic and zombie apocalypse and all this violence and fighting, that it would change you in a more hardened sense, meaning you're constantly under a lot of fire and a lot of conflict and a lot of stress. So you develop a certain resilience to that. So I can understand if he gives an example of what change means, but he just says 4 years is a long time. Well, yeah, 4 years is a long time, but for what? What are you talking? Like drinking water? That's a lot of water you're drinking in 4 years. Yeah, that changes many things in your blood. Sure, but that's not what we're talking about. What about Joel's personality has changed?
Yeah, and
they never show us.
He never showed it, and all it is 4 years is a long time.
All it shows us is that he's dumb, or he's dumber, or he's more trusting for some reason, and we don't know why.
Or more
Same
likely,
with his brother.
The person who wrote him in Last of Us Part 1 isn't the person who wrote him in Last of Us Part 2. That's all it really shows us.
Except for whoever did those flashbacks.
I try not to give the passage of time much of an argument because it's just a skip.
Yeah.
And unless you tell us what happened during A to B or A to C, it's really not much of an argument. It's not, 2 hours went by. It's like, okay, why did you tell us that? What's the point? You can just have shown...
Well, here's the thing. A time skip means that the stuff in between wasn't important and not much change happened.
Well, usually they want to do it for a purpose, and if you understand the purpose, then it doesn't really matter if it's
usually just to age a character.
Right. At times, if it's like 3 years or 4 year difference, right? But when you do a time skip, you focus on another part of the narrative specifically for a good reason, and you have to know why. Whenever you see those 3 stars in a story that breaks the narrative, that implies a jump. It implies implies a scene cut. So everything just stops. The curtains go down, intermission time, they come back up later. And voila, we're in another time and place with different characters sometimes. So there has to be a good reason for that, aside from, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what else to do on the page with my characters. There has to be a good reason for that. So maybe the whole point of that scene came to a close, and that was the point, and now it's time to bring it back to whatever point in time. So if that's all it is, then everything should be self-explanatory from the ending of that scene to the beginning of the next. And time should never have to be, what happened during those 4? He must have been a new person. It's like, no.
Unless both of these games do this a lot too.
Unless explicitly implied, you can't make that argument. So the plot's the same.
Yeah.
All right.
I just whenever it comes down to so many years must have passed, the character must be different. I'm just like, this shows that you've never known someone for longer than a year. Because I've got friends that I've known for years and years, and they're not different to how I first met them.
It's like, hey, I haven't seen you in 4 years. What are you doing? Same old.
Here's Mike Test again. What he needs is a bigot sandwich. Now, okay, I think you're trying to be funny, Mike. I just don't know who he is. Are we talking about Josh Whedon? Are we talking about Joel? Are we talking about the YouTuber?
The video creator.
Abby.
The video creator.
The video creator? I don't know what's going on here, Mike. But thank you for, again, gracing us with your wonderful ideas. Thank you.
I don't know. Donald's video is overkill when he does his sandwich. I prefer the normal sandwich.
I too enjoy sandwiches. Anyway.
Sandwiches are pretty good.
Let's go.
Pretty good sandwich.
A corrupt and dangerous quarantine zone in Boston, and then to live peacefully with your daughter, brother, and other great civilians, and seeing how the community operates with the outside world for 4 years, I would actually become a different person. Remember, you become what you surround yourself with.
I would become.
And Joel was now an old man with hobbies, playing and listening to music, reading space comics to connect more with Ellie, wood carving, even trading his own items for bags of coffee with strangers who basically come to Jackson just because he likes coffee. This man finally has the life he desperately wanted. You just can't expect a man who has changed to just stay ruthless and always on top of his guard.
No.
Yes.
This is a post-apocalyptic world.
Being ruthless doesn't. Being on guard doesn't mean you're ruthless.
There's a certain
mean
thing
you're
you
ready
learn
to defend.
when you learn stuff in the military. That stuff sticks with you for life, and it's because of the extreme hardship and conflict and stress you went through to get there. You do not easily forget that, and the training is there for a reason. Yeah. If you're in constant state of war, which these people have been, in order to survive, they wouldn't just go, "Oh, I'm going to relax now." They're going to be less stressed because they're used to the stress. It doesn't bother them as much, but they would still be physically and mentally fit. That's about maybe the passage of time would slow them down a touch, but they'd still be on point of what they were doing. So unless the narrative shows us that, you can't make that deduction.
Yeah, they need to defend Jackson from bandits and other infected. So he needs to be on guard every day, every time, because he doesn't know when the next attack will be. The survival instinct is still there. It still needs to be there.
Yeah, but here's the thing as well. This YouTuber has said, if I was in Joel's situation, I would have changed. It's like, really? It's like, okay, so you're just using it from your... all right. Well, then if I was in Joel's position, I wouldn't have changed. There, checkmate, we're at an impasse. Cool. Anyway, so you
just because you would change doesn't mean he would change. So it's not really much of an argument.
Just because he cares about the community, he didn't change. He just added more people to protect.
Yeah, he just decided to use what skills he's got to protect more people.
Well, he said, what did he say? He said, you become what you surround yourself with. What does he mean by that?
It means that if you were surrounded by clowns, you inevitably would be a clown.
All right.
Oh my God.
Well, I want to know where in the narrative he's getting this, because you can't just say, over the passage of time, therefore. It's like, that's not an argument.
Yeah.
We're not talking about evolution and billions of years. We're talking about one man changing his ways to be less strict, when the narrative shows us, even during the flashbacks, how strict he is, during the fact that he's super protective of Ellie. He's always cautious of her patrols and what she does. And even in this scene, he's really protective of her too. So this is...
Also, what is 4 years compared to 20 years of surviving?
Yeah. Here's Mike Testa again.
20 years.
Mike Testa.
25 years of surviving.
This YouTuber, yes, needs bigot sandwich. Okay. All right. The YouTuber needs to get a bigot sandwich. I think we all need a bit.
Just go to France. There's a lot there.
There's a lot of great steak in France. This is true. All right.
I mean, I wouldn't go this year.
I would go to France if I could. There. Yeah, I'd go to for sure. Why not? Yeah, I'd love to go. Here's Coolman229. You can't expect him to be on his guard. Literally, in Last of Us 2, it establishes that Joel is super strict on patrols and even checks Ellie's patrols. Oh, okay. So he is still Joel, the Joel we know, just older. That's it.
Yep. Just 4 years older.
It's Tommy's fault.
And again, we have nothing against having these changes happen in the narrative. We have nothing against, but it's not there. It's not presented in the way he's telling us it was or should have been. So this is a little bit of headcanon. It's not also, dangerous headcanon. It's just still he's making this up.
It's getting towards dangerous headcanon because it's one of those things where
he's almost there.
He's justifying everything.
That's Joel's character.
Yeah, no, he's justifying
super
everything.
Paranoid and cautious.
Yeah, no, all because of 4 years. Therefore, Joel is different. It's like no, it doesn't make sense.
You can even go back to the prologue of the first game. He's still like very cautious of what Sarah. Very, very, like he ignores others and only wants to help Sarah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
When before his death, Ellie came to basically visit him and decided to give their relationship a chance to rebuild again. This man literally shed tears of happiness. He was emotional. I imagine what was going through his head. He, the next day, saved Abby, he did a good deed, and now, probably all he wanted was just to survive, go home, see Ellie, and give her a hug, and reconnect with her. Joel didn't sense the danger because the group of strangers that he met in the cabin were not attacking them, they were not showing any signs of threat. And they actually made them feel comfortable when Tommy and Joel arrived into the cabin by basically exchanging their own names with Joel and Tommy. So they made the environment feel
the
a little
hunters
bit more
that you pointed
yeah.
in the first game?
That little moment of trust basically...
Matthew, perfect point. The hunters at the start showed no signs of attacking him, and he ran that guy down. But that might be because he was black. I don't know. I get confused sometimes.
I don't know why he helps
probably
Abby.
It is because of this. So
why does he help Abby?
Even if someone make you comfortable, if they are strangers, you don't know. They might be hunters doing this strategy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, for example, when he meets I forget Henry Sam. He doesn't tell him. He's very cautious about his name. He doesn't even say his name.
Yeah.
He didn't, because Ellie's the one that says her name, and he's trying to tell her subtly, like, no, don't do that. He doesn't trust them. I don't know why he trusts this group.
Mm-hmm. He trusts this group because it's written in the plot.
If you see you can see it is not really well written because you keep getting more and more questions to why he did this.
Yeah,
I mean,
why?
He has his backpack, then he enters the building, he suddenly doesn't have his backpack to defend himself. Tommy apparently doesn't see Abby grab the shotgun. She's gonna start blasting his kneecap off.
Yeah.
I don't know why Tommy's an idiot too. It's
there are so many ways they make Tommy and Joel such idiots to get this done, and it's just baffling that anyone can look at this and go, A, it's a well-written scene, and B, it doesn't disrespect the character, because this doesn't make Abby look like a super genius, well planned out, clever
Joel
person.
saves her.
She gets so lucky that she just stumbles across the person she was looking for, that he helps her, and that he's also fucking retarded in this scene. It's like, it's so badly written.
Yeah, no one walks into a building full of unknowns and is comfortable. You don't know these.
No one in the.
You don't have to be Joel to know that.
Zone. Yeah, no one in a war zone walks into a building full of people you don't know, who are armed, and then drops all their equipment, so they're pretty much unarmed, and then walks into the middle of the room, so you're surrounded on all sides.
Exactly.
That you can't see what's happening behind you.
Being logical, honestly, what would happen is Joel and Tommy help this group. They say, "Hey, you can stay in this building. We are going back to Jackson. If you want any supplies, you can trade with us."
Go into the building. Want to go into the building?
No, they wouldn't enter the building. They would go back to the village, and these people would be in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to establish that this is a safe haven, you can trust us. They did a lousy job in portraying that. They look sketchy as fuck. Like how do you trust them?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's Mike Test again. Thank you, Michael. He couldn't sense danger because he was being clubbed.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Joel.
Golf club.
Being clubbed to death.
What?
Yeah, yesterday made Mike Test to be so incoherent. We can't trust his.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, I think the moment Joel realized there was danger wasn't when he got shot in the leg.
He was surrounded. He was,
it wasn't that. He literally went. He was still thinking he was perfectly fine as Abby got the gold.
He was surrounded.
Well, I mean, he did say, "You all act like you heard of us before." I guess that was his paranoia.
He should have saw, because this group, that group was surrounding him, and he was on the center of the room. He had no escape route.
Look, an average person just doesn't trust unknowns, and it makes it worse for Joel because he's not an average person.
Friendly. Even if unknowns are friendly, you still don't trust them. It's not that way.
Yeah. There's no reason for Joel to be in this predicament.
Okay, this is. Let's keep going.
Basically, Joel's life. That little mistake is a human mistake. A mistake.
That is the dumb. What the hell are you? That little mistake is a human mistake? No, it's a astronomical mistake. What are you talking about?
It's a cybernetic mistake.
A human mistake.
It's a canine mistake.
A human mistake is when you're doing Bob Ross painting. What Joe did was not a human mistake.
It's a happy little mistake. Okay, then we'll just paint over it.
It was just a happy accident.
But we'll just say it's our little mistake. You have to tell him
we'll paint over it with the blood of my enemies. How's that?
I mean, the making of this game was a mistake, but okay.
We'll just draw a little cloud there in the corner with Joel's blood. Just a happy little mistake.
This is the most forced and contrived setting in the story. Everything it's a perfect storm of Abby getting what she wants. It's like, how did this happen?
Yeah, exactly. And this guy is now. You know when I said he's going down the dangerous headcanon route, and Smud was like, no, he's not. Well, I can see this getting worse. I can see there are going to be more and more headcanon retcons. But
I mean, the video is not badly made. We saw worse videos.
So.
No. That's safety net. If you watch Mulder's video, he brings this up. Using, in my opinion, is just a shield.
Also, this is still in the first hour. We're still on this.
Well, this is the only moment we get Joel, so it's kind of like there's not much to work with. So.
Yeah, that you need to work with the first hour.
Yeah.
Any of us would actually do. And sadly, that is life.
No.
Wait, what?
Because he's human and makes human mistakes, that's just how the wind blows. You're like, what? Excuse me?
No, not really. You're
not super
trusting.
With stories, you have established characters and their behavior and modes of whatever, and we know what they think, we know what they like, we know what they dislike, and we know how they behave in general, especially in violent scenarios. And we've seen it before. There is no reason that we can see from the narrative why Joel and Tommy, especially Tommy, would act this way, considering what they came through, what they've gone through all their life, and what we've seen that. So, no, this does not make sense.
Yeah, this was like the first game, I guess. This is the second game.
Mm-hmm.
20 years of fighting for your life. What is this?
Here's Mike Testa again. Joel became the punchline of a SpongeBob joke. What is
Joe in one?
Mike, every time you write a sentence, you leave something out. And I'm sitting there like, I know what you said, but what do you mean? Which SpongeBob joke?
Joel in one.
Joel in one? Is that a SpongeBob joke?
I don't know.
I
can't remember.
Could be.
I don't know.
Does SpongeBob have a golf episode?
Is it when Squidward
I don't know. I'm flicking through my big book of references, and I just don't know where I am. I just don't know what. Mike's obviously got the newer version than I have.
Thanks again, Mike. Confused the hell out of us as always.
Anyway.
Is
it the Squidward joke? I don't know.
Oh, God. Here's
That's mine.
We
John
live
Doe.
for 40 years and then we die.
John Doe, the average Joe. Alrighty. Just because Joel is chill in Jackson doesn't mean he won't go into battle mode when needed. You can have chill hobbies and not lose your instincts. It's all about the context to Joel's surroundings. Yeah, he saved someone's life, and this is the only understanding that he should immediately trust them because he saved them. It's a strange thing to do, especially when it's a stranger, and you assume the stranger has good intentions.
And it is not a stranger of your community. Even if it is a stranger, if you say, I am from Jackson, he could say, okay, I can trust him. That group, he did say they were from Jackson.
Yeah. They didn't say why they're in the area.
Not even. I was gonna say not even Ellie trusted David, right? Because David seemed harmless. Like,
yeah,
this would be like if Ellie trusted David and the rest of his gang or whatever, and he just said, "Hey, my name's Ellie.
Don't forget.
Please kill me."
Don't forget. Post-apocalypse world. It's a tribal world. You can't trust anyone outside of your tribe.
Yeah.
Here is Tyler Preston for the donation. This is the idiot ball trope in full swing in Last of Us 2. Neil Druckmann is just an incompetent writer that he had to write Joel out of order in order to get this Mary Sue Abbey an easy way of offing him. I think that's a safe way of putting it. I don't know about the Mary Sue-ness, but I think that it was so contrived that it was painful to see. You're like, this doesn't seem right. These two characters should not be behaving this way. And everything just gets handed to Abby. When that one scene on the ledge where he's talking to Owen, or she's talking to Owen, and they're like, maybe, how long will this take? Like, how are we going to find him? How are we going to flush out these two guys from an entire city? How is this going to work out? And all of a sudden, boom, they find him. Out of some random event of being attacked by zombies, Joel comes out and saves her, which is, again, it's all contrived. It just happens to be that way. So, Mike Testa, thanks again. Y'all act like you've heard of us before. Cue music. What?
Yeah, it was Joe say. You actually like you heard of us before. And then Abby shoots him.
Wait, was that Tommy or Joel?
Y'all got a towel?
Joe said this.
Joel. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Joel, you all sound like you heard of us. Why do I hear boss music?
And Tommy just looks at it.
And plays the Doom music.
All right.
No, just play the Soviet national anthem on the kazoo. That's all you hear while Joel's getting killed.
Here's Fritz. I had to stop watching Chugga Conroy to watch this, Smud. This better be good. Also, anything this man says about Joel will be wrong. I think his opinions are a bit exaggerated, a bit stretched, a bit idealized. All right, we are more than halfway done. We're at 15 minutes. We've got 6 minutes left.
We can go on.
I doubt he's going to give us another VPN advertisement, so we should be okay for 6 minutes.
Imagine. Here again from our sponsor, Surfshark.
Yeah, well, I've never heard of Surfshark.
If you too want to save your headcanon and make YouTube videos, use Surfshark.
Oh no, Mike Testa. Hey, thanks again, Mike. It's like a SpongeBob joke where the uncomfortableness ensues that the person is about to hurt with dramatic music playing, then the death.
I watched a lot of SpongeBob's episodes. I really don't remember this.
I can't even remember what episode.
I'm sure there's a moment in one of the episodes where Mike is making a reference. I just don't know. But,
I don't know.
But thank you, Michael, for the understanding of what you're trying to explain to us.
Can I just say something? I want to say thank you to Mike Tester actually, because when you read out that super chat, I did an eye roll, And I just noticed I'm about to be attacked by the legendary panther on Red Dead 2, and I managed to kill it. So thanks, you stopped me from dying. Cheers.
Oh, nice! You killed it.
Yeah, but I don't know. So thank you, Mike. I won, but please stop with the super chat.
Just going off topic here. Something I really like in games is when they implement fishing. I really like to fish in Red Dead.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I do as well. Too.
I can't do it legally in the UK, so I can do it here.
There's loads of games where everyone just wants to have a mini fishing game. So
it's always relaxing. Fishing mini games that have fishing is really relaxing. I know that a lot of people don't like, but it's something that I appreciate.
You play boss music while you fish?
Only if it is the red bass in Far Cry 5.
All right, let's keep going.
Will actually always catch up to you sooner or later. And shamefully, it looks like some people in the gaming community are just too used to seeing characters having an absurd amount of plot armor and escaping major consequences.
No.
No.
Okay.
Whoa! Wow! Okay.
Abby?
Okay.
Abby gets everything! What are you talking about?
Dude, a lot of people really complain when the plot armor is on the face.
Yeah, it's almost like we're watching or playing a story game. Like, oh my god, this is
but Joel had to deal with his, the consequences of his action, right?
Also, all main characters have some degree of plot armor. It is
but also, you seem to. This all stems from the headcanon that what Joel did in the first game is inherently wrong by our modern moral standards, and not from.
You shouldn't save kids. You should let them die.
You should
or be murdered in this case.
Yeah, you should let them die for silly vaccines that won't work because there's no way it's going to work anyway. But my point is, this all comes from the headcanon that everything that Joel does in the first Last of Us is wrong. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to face his consequences. Yeah, what about Abby? Does she face her consequences?
So I just read Mike Test super chat. Apparently is the episode where Mr. Krabs get the beautiful patties that they are basically colored hamburgers.
Wait, what?
You guys don't remember that episode?
Matthias, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I stopped watching SpongeBob after I turned 11 years old. I have no idea what.
The pretty patties, right? Okay.
Yeah, the pretty patties. That's understandable.
Okay.
Also, it is a really old episode, so.
I had other thing. Sorry. Well, good joke, Mike.
Anyway, back to The Last of Us.
How does this tie in to the Communist Manifesto? No, I'm joking.
It rejects gender.
All right, let's keep going.
The moment they get a taste of how humanity truly is in a video game, they repel it. They call it disrespectful because they didn't get exactly what they wanted.
Is.
Wait. This has nothing to do with humanity. This is how did we get to what humanity truly like? These are those broad statements I really hate. So first off, he's talking about humanity, very broad idea. Truly is. So you don't know what noun truly is. Like, no, sir, you're not making any sense now. Just because you think.
Also, this is. Yeah, this is also
strike
humanity 25. This is well for everyone else it's strike one, but for me, I'm. His team's on the last innings of like one batter, the kid with the gimpy arm. So But like what Smud's saying, you can't just say this is what it truly is. It's like, sorry.
If you're talking about the nature of an individual and their personality, you can be specific and say this and this is Joel and this isn't Joel. Fine, but you didn't do that. You just said generic time skip, therefore not Joel. And you're like, what? No, that's not what's going on here. You cannot
also,
make this
there is info in The Last of Us 2 that Joel is even more strict than he was
possibly
before.
You can't make the argument from ignorance. Like, you can't just say it's not there, therefore it could have happened. It's like, no, we have to argue with what we're given, not with what we're not given. So this is a silly thing to say, whether it's a time skip or just some weird rationale about human behavior. It doesn't quite work that way.
Even then,
why is it always come down to some sort of silly philosophical argument about the bad stuff of humanity when it's just like, this is a badly written thing? Why does like the philosophical shit always pop up when they're trying to explain bad scenes? It's like they've got to try and like confuse the audience to make their defense of this shit stand, and it's just
Wait a second here, Mike. What? Joel isn't beloved. Winnie the Pooh is cosmonaut. Cosmonaut?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Joel, yeah, that's what Cosmonaut said. But Joel isn't a beloved character, but Winnie the Pooh is. So yeah.
I think the
quote, right?
standard answer for Mike Testa is yes, Mike. You're right.
Thanks. No, the standard answer is thanks, Mike. Anyway, moving on.
No, but that was the quote, right? Like what he said.
It
was so ridiculous. I couldn't even.
Yesterday was really funny.
Yeah, Mike was on a roll.
He's such a strange fellow.
All right. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah, but he's like our strange fellow as well.
Yeah, he is the Smudcast mascot.
He's the Smudcast Debbie. He's just a pet.
All right. Okay, let's go.
And to be honest with you, if we wanted to, we could just make another one.
All right, let's do this. Let's go.
But honestly, in my opinion, it's not disrespectful. It's just a reflection of the unforgiving world of The Last of Us. A world so close to how...
You're blaming the setting for the way Joel behaved. All right, okay, fine.
I thought it was
hold on. Yeah, hold on. The unforgiving world of The Last of Us. Hang on, it was peaceful 5 seconds ago. Oh, no, it's unforgiving and cruel and dangerous, and you should be always on guard.
He says it's like our reality.
But it's only peaceful when you kill effects.
Yes, it's only peaceful when you need it to be peaceful to push forward your headcanon. Because your headcanon doesn't work with actual arguments, because anybody with half a brain would realize by saying it's peaceful, you then cannot continue and say it's an unforgiving world. Ergo, you are a fucking idiot.
Yeah, what an unforgiving world for Ellie and Dina to be living in a house on a ranch or some shit and just raising a baby.
That ranch might be more peaceful than Jacksonville.
Yeah, but this is the thing. It's a peaceful world. It's a peaceful life he's living in. When it suits this idiot's case, it suits his point, and then it's unforgiving when he needs to fucking. This just shows he's just talking out of his arse. This really does show that he is just absolutely.
He also said it's very close to our reality.
But it's not. Why do they always? Why is it? It's a post-apocalyptic world with a virus of fungi where people are biting each other's faces off.
Everyone's against each other.
Yeah, and we're all split
it's basically
the only place
fighting tribes.
Yeah, the only place I could think where there's a group of people who are all separated by stuff with fungus and are biting people's faces off is probably a gay pride parade, but that's about it. So But hey ho.
Oh boy.
Nothing. It doesn't connect to anything in our world whatsoever.
No,
But these
it's
idiots.
totally
These,
Well, I don't
these
know.
idiots.
I like to walk into
Why
a
do they-
building full of people I don't know and just get my kneecap shot off.
and
Yeah,
be brutally beaten up by a golf club.
Yeah.
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 That golf club
do you
is
guys,
ridiculous, by the way.
I
Wouldn't that
think it
shit
is
break?
Iron 9. It's a
Yeah.
Iron 9,
Why can't you?
something like that.
Why can't you use a bat?
Yeah, but
I mean, golf clubs are heavy, so it is
Yeah,
actually
golf-
good.
But
Ah,
one of the main things is if you go to a bad area of town, you don't just meet a group of people and then go into a strange building, and then just say, "Oh, completely drop your guard." It's just ridiculous.
so that's how Joel wasn't actually disrespected.
Yeah.
They torture him. I mean, how is that not disrespectful?
The general argument he has is time and human nature. Therefore, time, human nature, and setting are why Joel was not disrespected. It's just the world we live in. It's just what you expect.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
God,
thank you.
guys.
No, it is not the writing that made him.
You expect to
look
get
like an
tortured? All right.
It's not the writing that made him look like an idiot and basically character assassinate him.
Jeez, I can't wait for Uncharted 5 when Nathan Drake just gets tortured to death. Being such a toxic
Unfortunately,
male.
Uncharted ended in a positive note.
No, we need to have a despicable, miserable ending. We can't end on a happy ending.
No. Keep Uncharted where it is. Let's wait for Jack and Dexter. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we can kill those characters off.
I was off topic here. I was talking this with my brother that I kind of feel the lack of games like Crash or Jack and Dexter or Ratchet and Clank. We need more those type of games back in the market.
No, we can't. We got to do more political
Dark Green,
agenda games.
Dark Green can like Warhammer 40k. Instead of being clubbed with a golf club, you are being clubbed with a, I don't know, those. I know what it is, but I forgot the name. Yeah, both around in the head. And your head explode after enter contact.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember Saw Blade.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Here's mic test again. Hawk, that lady ever explained what lightsaber is?
Yes.
I'm sorry. That lady ever explained what lightsaber is?
Wit and Folly?
Again, Mike, we gotta.
Just say yes.
That lady ever explained what lightsaber?
What lady?
Are you in your own head, Mike? Because we have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, what lady?
Kathleen Kennedy?
That lady ever explained
Wait, no,
what
you played
lightsaber
again. Uncharted 5, Nathan dies from CBT. What? Nathan Drake dies?
Hold on. My head,
CBT.
because I'm still trying to figure out what. Oh no, my head. CBT. What? CB. Oh God! I don't know. What's happening? I don't know.
I don't know either. CBT is what?
CBT.
Is he talking about
CBT
mental
seems
health?
like CBT
What's
seems
CBT?
like a missile system.
Hold on. CBT. Hang on.
He dies getting a missile on his face.
Cognitive behavioral therapy.
So he's talking. He's gonna get a golf club too.
It's either that or it's compass motorcycle training. I don't know. For some reason that came up as well. But CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy.
Maybe it's a gender.
Maybe it's
Right.
command, transform, and beat.
Well, that would be CTB, and that's not what you said.
Yeah.
So
You could
Okay.
you could mean CBD. That might make more sense, but I don't think that would kill you.
no.
Let's just
But
say.
my major question is, but my major question is, who's this woman with a lightsaber? I'm more interested in that. Who is this?
Maggie
who's this woman with a
Mayfish.
lightsaber?
No.
Is it Maggie
no.
Mayfish? Is it? I don't know. Who? Mike, buddy, mate, pal, friendo, compadre. Just spend an extra $1 so you get more letters in your super chats and make a coherent sentence. And I will gladly answer your question.
All right,
I just need a little bit more.
Here's Smudcast episode where Hawk blew up over the Force Awakens female reviewer for wasting his time.
Oh, the one with the fighting scenes.
Oh, the fight scene! Yeah, where she did everything other than a fight. Yeah, no, I don't think she ever explained what a fucking lightsaber. No, I don't think she ever explained anything about anything. Yes, no, I don't think. No, she didn't.
I think we lost. Mike Tesla have
Yes.
more knowledge on Smudcast than we have.
Yeah, no, listen, I remember a lot of Smudcasts, but I've been on that many. There's so many idiots. Yeah, she spent the majority of her video talking about everything other than the fight, and I think me and I can't remember who it was. Literally, I just shouted, "Get on with it!" Because she was just literally talking about everything other than the fight. Yeah,
Her shtick was, I studied fight choreography. I got
Oh yes, no, that's what it is. She was talking about she was doing she's a level 4 in drama,
karate, or something.
and Kimanon or whatever it is. And like I just went and I just said, nobody fucking cares. Get on with this. The fight choreography.
Hima is historical European martial arts.
Yes, I know what Hema is. I just said Kima because it's the type of meat you have in a curry dish.
Okay, here's Fritz explaining everything for us. Mike is
for $5 whole.
Mike is talking about cock and ball torture. He's saying Nathan's gonna die from getting his nuts
Oh God!
destroyed.
No.
Oh, Davey!
No.
Oh,
Please.
now that
Don't
makes
give Druckmann.
sense.
Don't give Druckmann
Oh.
ideas.
Oh, cock and ball torture.
And myself think it was a missile system.
Yeah, but why do you put CBT? Wouldn't you put C? That little and sign beat in. No man, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, here's one more. Joe Crazy also explaining things. I think Mike is talking about the lady from the sequel trilogy who had Anakin's lightsaber and said a story for another time.
Yeah, we remember.
Oh yeah, that lady as well. That she never said it. No, nothing was ever explained.
It's Mystery Box.
It was explained in a
dude.
book, and I don't want to read a book to understand a movie.
Really, this is something that we talk about rather frequently. If you are going to explain a plot hole outside of the movie or book, not in media, this just point out the problem in the media itself. You can explain plot holes in the third media.
Okay.
Just like Shepard Death in Mass Effect 2.
I love that.
Anyway, let's get back to the video and get this thing over with. It's only a few minutes left, and we know where this guy's at this point, so we can just have a good time.
We can fly through it.
Real life could if we were ever affected by a similar virus. no one is safe. And if you do bad things, you could actually lose your life. And that's how life is. And look, even if Joel was not the same person from part 1, he still has certain parts of his personality that stayed intact. Like, for example, when Joel was shot and incapacitated, this man didn't even beg for...
Wait, hold on.
What's going on?
So is he the same person, or is he not the same person? Make up your mind.
He said he was a different person, though, right?
He said he was a completely different person, but he might be still the same person.
No, he
in some
said
ways.
new personality. The new Joel.
Yeah, but he's now saying about him now saying that being the same as his old thing, and I'm just like,
when did he say that? I can't remember.
Just now. He's just literally now talking about.
No, didn't he say he was different?
Yeah, he said he was a different Joel with some things.
But now he's saying
remaining.
Yeah, he keeps talking about how he's changed or whatever. He's a new character now.
And now he's saying that some characteristics from Joel from the first game still there. With the scene doesn't show.
Yeah, but there's still bits of the old Joel there. Right, so why is he completely not like the old Joel then? As in, like, even...
Because he's not doing...
Yeah, because it's badly written. So this guy, in his desperation to dig Naughty Dog out of his hole, is digging a deeper hole.
Works for your...
Because every time he tries to make up something to get Naughty Dog out of this spot of bother, he's just added a JCB and dug a deeper hole.
It works for meth heads.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, we can move on, but he's now like
he's contradicting himself. He was contradicting himself before, like when he said the world was unforgivable, while back in the video he said it was a peaceful life.
Yeah.
And here's Mike Testa. That book explained less than my super chats.
I agree.
Oh yeah, that book.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The sequel books try their best to explain the sequels' plot holes by making more plot holes and more things.
Wait, are those the book adaptations of the movie, or are those just other books?
Yes.
Okay.
No, they're the book
adaptations. The book adaptations of the movie.
All right. Okay.
The book for just to have a clear, the book for Force Awakens, they set up something really cool, but then the last Jedi happened and everything was throw it the dump.
Yeah.
Is there a book that explains how Palpatine had sex to have Rey as a granddaughter?
Is the book said it is a clone.
There's certain parts
it is a clone.
You shouldn't go to.
Clone.
In the book says Palpatine.
Yeah, the book
Rey's
says that
father is actually a Palpatine clone.
Yeah.
He didn't have sex. He cloned himself.
Well.
Anyway. Why are we talking about Star Wars? The Last of Us 2 is out.
In other words, Palpatine is actually Rey's father, not Rey's grandfather.
Matthias, I don't know how to say this nicely. I don't give a shit.
Is it Matthias or Matthias?
I know.
Or maybe.
I just choose whatever since he's Brazilian, so it doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I thought Brazilians don't exist.
All right,
it's a figment of all our imagination.
Here's John Doe, the average Joe again. Does he think Joel was only a killer in The Last of Us 1? I think he's implying Joel was different in the way that explains his behavior. Therefore, it's not disrespecting Joel. At the same time, Joel's also the same. So it's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, Joel is whatever he needs Joel to be to prove his point. and that's the problem.
I mean, we said that Joel was created by Hawk, so
I mean,
blame Hawk.
it is his
Okay.
opinion, so I mean,
yeah, but I'm allowed to say that his opinion's wrong. Just because it's his opinion doesn't give him carte blanche to say whatever the fuck he wants.
Here's Mike Testa again. Thank you, Michael. Remember that joke about Luke's hand? It's canon. What joke about Luke's hand?
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Wait, what?
I don't remember the joke, but it is.
What are we talking about?
Wait, was there a joke about Luke's hand?
What joke?
I think it is something really dumb for people just
yeah,
to not.
I know it's gonna be something really dumb.
Why are we talking about Star Wars, by the way? How did we jump on this?
All roads lead to
lightsabers.
Rey. All roads lead to Rey.
well, because both of the main characters are disrespected, basically.
Yeah, all the characters. Yeah, it makes loads of sense.
All right, okay.
Can you say Rey is a character to be disrespected?
No, Luke Skywalker, not Rey, you idiot.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Didn't even beg for his life or screamed for help. Naughty Dog did not make him a pussy. He knew in that moment that Sins basically caught up to him. He took it like a man. And basically said one of the most badass lines, in my opinion.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off!
Well,
The editing is really bad. Yeah.
You got rehearsed. Get this over with.
Joel died like a true man. He died.
Here we go. A true man. Not just a man. The true man, because he's a badass.
The true man who got blind.
Strike two.
That's strike 16, to be honest with you, in this video for me. But, okay, we'll say it's strike 2.
All these grandiose big words. Oh, okay, yeah. Sure.
That was such a weird. He's just like, he didn't die like a pussy. It's like,
what?
He didn't die like a pussy. Yeah, he did.
Dude,
he did die like
he
a
was
pussy.
surrounded.
He put no fight up whatsoever.
yeah, that's not the argument.
But that's not the
he
argument.
was surrounded.
It's where he got disrespected. Also, say whatever speech you've got. That's really badass. No, it's not in the context, because he shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with.
Yeah. Like, sure, yeah, cool line, but, like, he still goes out like an idiot.
Yeah.
This ain't his last stand.
No offense, if you, his last stand, yeah, fucking.
So I got context. Apparently, Palpatine cloned himself with Luke's hands. Luke's DNA.
Matthias, stop. No, nada, not interested. No, over and done with. Doesn't matter. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is like roadkill. I don't care. I just walk past.
It's like AIDS.
Here's Mike Testa. Rey is related to Luke because his hand DNA. What?
Like I said.
Okay.
What the hell is hand
Palpatine
DNA?
Palpatine used Luke's hand to clone himself.
Oh,
His jerk off?
Nobody cares. Star Wars is dead. Let it die. I do not care about Palpatine's Luke hand job or what. I don't care. It doesn't matter. No one cares. It means nothing.
What the hell is hand DNA?
Hand DNA is completely is like it's the opposite of foot DNA.
Mike, DNA is DNA. It doesn't matter where in the body you get it. It's all the same.
Head DNA. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, we can move on.
Let's not talk about this ever again, please, Michael. This is getting silly.
Yeah. Let's never speak of this again.
Anyway, back to the topic of the video, which is Joel.
Yeah, but this I'm just gonna say this scene isn't badass. It's the exact opposite of being badass. It's
a badly written
So
scene.
we could argue that he likes this dialogue from Joel, but the rest of us don't like the previous dialogue from Joel, where he reveals himself and does all these other things with Tommy, and they just.
I don't think I also don't think that what Joel says here is badass. I don't think.
I mean, I think it makes sense for him to say that, but it's just everything before it is just stupid.
No, it's just so out of the blue. It's not his character, since he's obviously calmed down. He's living a peaceful life. Why would he say something that badass? He's obviously mellowed out. He obviously.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
All right, here's Fritz.
It's not Joe, but it is him.
Here's Fritz explaining Mike again. Thank you, Fritz. Palpatine uses Luke's hand to make clones of him. This led to the creation of Snoke. Are you trying to tell me somewhere in the, I don't know, book adaptation of the movie, Palpatine is described as somehow taking Luke's hand from episode 5?
How?
I guess giant.
Where did he get the hand from?
And
remember that
he got it from that woman.
It must have still been attached to Luke's lightsaber or something.
Why would first off, why would he do that if A, he could just use his own DNA to make his own powerful clone, or B, use Darth Vader's DNA to make apparently the best clone? Why would they use Luke's?
Yeah.
Because Luke
you don't even have to add the rest of that question. Yeah, but you don't even have to add the rest of that question. You just say why. Why?
I do know in the
because
EU,
whatever the answer, just say why.
I do know in the EU.
How does
I do know.
How does cloning a Jedi work?
Well, no. Cloning is fine. I do know in the EU that cloning Jedi or cloning Force power is extremely hard, and that's why there's so many attempts that are failed. And that's why we have that crazy story with the Luke character. The Luke character. There's the 2 U's and there's the 3 U's.
Lude?
Luuuke. It's literally a clone of Luke that has gone through like multiple attempts, and this is the final one, like one of the ones that actually worked. But he's kind of crazy and evil. So that's part of the EU. This thing with Palpatine, I mean, don't even who cares? It's just such a stupid story to even bother to make sense of. And we used Luke's cloning technology to make Snoke. That's retarded. That's dumb.
Yeah, but I'm at the point where you can tell me anything with Star Wars. I'm just like, whatever. I'm still not gonna like the movie. It's
so irrelevant at this point. Like I didn't bother to do a plot analysis of Episode 9 because it's like, why? What would I get out of that?
Defeated.
It's so dumb. The plot analysis of the Rise of Skywalker is bugger, oh bugger, oh bugger, oh bugger, oh bugger, Ray, hey, bugger, oh bugger, oh bugger.
Somehow Palpatine is back.
It's such a waste.
Somehow we buggered this up.
Like there's nothing to learn. All you would learn.
Palpatine behind it all.
All you would learn are a bunch of things happened. Some people died. That's about it. Everything else is like, okay. Mm-hmm. Nothing else makes sense. It's just a waste of time. Like I would rather look at a bad video game because that involves gameplay and plot points that could lead to something meaningful. But it's just it's so bad. Like what would I learn?
Yeah, exactly.
You would rather play Last of Us Part 2 than Star Wars.
Well, I've never heard a good argument of how Episode 9 is like worth your time. It's worth to watch to see the train wreck, but the plot is just a waste. Who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway. Joe Crazy. Wait, does that make Ren and Rey cousin kissers? I don't know.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
Yes.
Sure, whatever. I don't care. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yes. Incest.
I don't.
It means nothing because one of the idiots is dead and the other one I want to be dead. But so, whatever. We're not making any more of them. There's no more stories of Rey and Kylo. It's over and done with. So, sucks to be a Reylo, doesn't it?
Damn.
Anyway, let's get back on track.
It's going to be retcons in the next 10 years anyway. It doesn't matter.
I know that this was all worth it because he got to save Ellie's life at the end. And Ellie got to live.
What?
Wait a second. Wait. At this scene, Ellie's about to get shot by Manuel, I thought. And then Owen steps in to save her.
No. Joel doesn't even realise that Ellie's here, because by the time Ellie gets in, Joel is pretty much
Joel is already dead.
Yeah. So
he doesn't know where
he doesn't
going there.
Hold on.
Yeah, he doesn't get to see if Ellie lives.
You mean me, my memo? This is just fucking headcanon.
Yeah, this isn't the first game's ending. This is the second game's beginning. What the fuck?
This is just headcanon. We've gone down this route again, where it's just headcanon. Headcanon again. As the meme says, I'm tired of all this motherfucking headcanon in this motherfucking media. Right? It's the same all the time. These are clearly badly written things. But contrarians and idiots like this have got to bend reality so much and go so deep into their own stupid, retarded heads to make up some sort of headcanon to work. Why? I don't know. Because they just can't comprehend that the people making most of the media today are all ideologically blinded bigots. And entertainment is getting worse and worse with each year.
Honestly, I agree with Arch. If you watched Arch's videos, he said that the mainstream is the worst thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, the mainstream never can do it because idiots like this will constantly make headcanon to let them off the hook.
I mean, when was this video made? 2 months ago, right?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
I think it was.
So they're still making headcanon to make this work.
Yeah, it's
just headcanon. And the things with the battle of headcanon is it's stupid. Like Whispers, if you have to make your own headcanon, then it obviously shows what you've done is either badly explained or badly written.
Yeah, if you need to write for the writer did a poor job.
Yeah. So again, but like I say, we're at headcanon, and he's doing all these things, and I could just say, well, my headcanon says the exact opposite. We're at an impasse, and where do we get with the discussion? Nowhere. And this is the problem.
To look at the
objective facts of what happens and what is written and what is shown. Well, these people are off in fantasy fucking land, skipping around going, it makes sense in my headcanon.
Because everything's subjective, apparently.
Everything's subjective. Everything makes sense in my deranged head. Everything's subjective. I'm lonely, sad, and I only get validation on Twitter.
All right. Here's my test again. Guys, Last of Us 2 is out. Why the Star Wars talk? Ha 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 ha. Okay. Let's just
You brought up lightsaber, Mike.
Let's keep going.
It's Hawk's fault, okay?
Whatever, I don't care.
Anyway, we got 5 minutes left. Let's go.
He died staying true to the person he always was, and also
no,
he had said to
you fucking idiot!
The day before his death.
Okay, hold on. What did he say? I couldn't. Oh,
right. He died staying true to the person he always was. Then
but I thought he changed.
Then I thought he changed. So he's true, but then he's not true. Then he's true again. I'm gonna punch you really hard in the face, right? Because this is getting ridiculous here. Right?
Just keep going.
Fucking bite me, you cunt!
That was weird.
With this fucking video, you cannot do this. You cannot say He's changed because of a time skip. He's mellowed out because the world's peaceful. To then say the world is harsh and cruel, he's not changed. He stayed true to who he was. Stay true to who he's always been. You fucking idiot! Do you read what you actually write in these scripts? Or are you so fucking retarded that the words that you put before are in a fucking foreign language? This is pathetic. Utterly fucking pathetic.
He did say it was his opinion, so...
No, seriously. This is just... his argument... He's argued against his own point.
I mean, I don't question it anymore.
He made a point. He made a point, and now he's going against his point, thinking it proves his previous point correct. How can you be this stupid?
Yes,
Eric. An opinion is a banana is the sun. That's an opinion.
Oh God, I'm so fed up with this shit. Sorry, I'm gonna rant. You just can't.
What we said before the stream, that it was a good video.
It sounded really good.
Well,
the first few minutes were
whenever
fine.
Smud says this is gonna be a good video, it's gonna be fine, I just go X to doubt. I'm just like, okay, well, we'll go through this.
Smud, be honest. You watched the video without the sound, right?
I got to the VPN part and I went, okay, that's enough.
You mean the VPN part?
Look. Honestly, it's the same thing I do when I check the videos for the poll. I watch it some minutes and say, okay, this can do.
Smud, what you should do is skip to the last 2 minutes of the video, because that's usually when the weirdest stuff happens.
All right, here's Joe Crazy. In my Smudverse headcanon, Mike Testa is an ascended being. Oh. Is that...
Who said... I'm pretty sure he is an ascended being. He's a celestial.
He's a celestial
What?
being.
I was thinking of the SG-1 universe of ascended beings. Maybe there's other kinds I don't know anymore. Anyway, here's Fritz. Hey, Fritz. These are all caps, by the way, so imagine me screaming. You're writing so you can defend the shit writing in The Last of Us 2. Think AP nerd. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I literally need the meme of me just saying, think AP, think you fucking.
God, Smud, you yell so loud.
Everything you know will be gone.
What will you be left with in 500 years?
No, 4 years.
Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2, and I just fly away because I'm like, fuck this shit. Oh, headcanon.
You're fighting.
I always have headcanon.
A bad writing.
Guys, he wasn't disrespected, okay? He didn't die like a pussy.
Yeah.
He stayed true to what he was.
He didn't die like a pussy. He died like a fucking bitch boy. There, I said it. Every person who says Joel went out like a badass is like, has got so much cope. It's like, it's so clear that he didn't go out like a badass, and you're just literally, you're scraping such a barrel to try and make the scene seem better than it is. So.
Right. Okay.
We can keep going.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered.
No, it wouldn't.
But you took that from me.
No, he didn't.
It didn't matter. Your life didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered. You'd just been dead. Congrats.
Yeah, you would have been dead. That was bad writing. Do you mean your death would matter? Is that what you mean?
If somehow the Lord
No, he wouldn't.
at that moment. I would do it all over again.
As you should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what as you should. Yes. Oh, piss off! Piss off! Skip. We can skip.
Not regretting a single thing, as long as his loved one got to live. Joel showed what a true man would do for those he loved.
True man, here we go.
He did it with pride. Even though it was morally gray, he was exactly what the song Future Days says. Joel would lose himself if he were ever to lose Ellie. And to not lose her, he essentially doomed his own destiny in exchange for his daughter's life. That is how much he loved her. That was the new Joel. So...
Wait, the new Joel? I thought he was the same person he always was.
Honestly...
Hold on. That was the new Joel. Not 5 minutes ago, you said he was the man he always...
Still there?
Fuck off.
Wait, Hawk, you still there? You cut out.
Yeah. Right.
Breathe.
So 5 minutes, not 5 minutes ago, he said Joel died the way he acted the way he always was, and now when it suits his point, he's the new Joel.
Especially after he said
I
would do it all over again.
I thought he was the same Joel he's always been. It's
okay, he changed, he's the same, he changed, he's the same.
Call me crazy. It's almost like this YouTube creator is talking completely out of his fucking arse and is literally grasping at straws and doesn't actually have any idea how to make a coherent argument because he does not have a coherent brain.
I will be fair with the video.
I don't know.
The first part is good. His opinion.
I don't know.
The first part is him just explaining everyone else's who doesn't like the things, doesn't like how Joel's treated opinion, and their opinions are right because that's actually what happened.
But maybe we just.
The problem is he went, but I don't think, which is true. I don't think he was, and since then. Since it becomes his own opinion of how he thinks Joel's been treated, he has just made headcanon. He's lied. He's gone back on what he said. He can't make his mind up whether it's new Joel, old Joel, present Joel, past Joel, future Joel. Yeah, contradiction. Thy name is AP Nerd, right?
But maybe we just don't understand.
Oh,
maybe
I
we're missing the point
perfectly well. I understand perfectly well.
What point we missing? He's totally wrong about the game.
Because he changed, but then he remained the same.
He changed. He changed, but remained the same.
It is a peaceful life, but at the same time, it is a forgiven world.
All right.
It's a peaceful, unforgiving world.
I think we can continue on if he makes another one of these statements. Mike Testa.
I want to know how many more times. How many minutes?
That's true humanity.
It's true manshipness. He did the right thing for his manliness. That was true. No, it's good. I'm fine, thanks.
No, saving your daughter is saving who you view as your child is a good thing to do. It's a morally good thing to do, but the problem is, these people still seem to think that it's morally grey because they still seem to think that the vaccine was a viable thing. This is what it all hinges on. The vaccine would have worked when it wouldn't.
And it's not like she consented.
All right. Here's Mike Test again. Yeah. Ellie, you took my dying from me. Why, Joel, you're bad. Yeah, essentially. Here's Joe Crazy. Ellie, you didn't save my life. You ruined my death. That's strangely what Mike Testa kind of just said, but yeah, cool. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I gotta listen to more of this fucking idiot talk. I'm just like, great.
Well, it's all dramatic now, so he's playing guitar.
Obviously,
If
Joel's
I had that
character
guitar,
in this
I'd
game
do,
was honored. And if we think about it,
Revolution.
The Last of Us Part 2 is about Joel, about his good and bad, about the consequences of what he did in Part 1, and also about the good things that he did with Ellie. He saved her life, and even though Ellie did not appreciate it at first, she still wanted to reconnect with him. She still loved him, and he.
But they can't. He's dead.
And then the bad side about Joel, in that he killed Abby's father without even knowing, and dooming humanity because he took Ellie away from the Fireflies.
Dooming humanity? Dooming humanity?
There was no.
Fucking, we have gone
evidence.
into fucking orbit with this headcanon. He's doomed humanity
No
to a peaceful life.
Okay, let's think about it. Okay, you make a cure, right? And that somehow fixes humanity?
No, it will bring proxy wars, tribes fighting the Fireflies.
Yeah, but the whole we've gone from Joel was living a peaceful life to it's an unforgiving world to dooming humanity.
I guess the cure.
You can't doom humanity. What, dooming humanity? Yeah. Yeah, dooming humanity to a peaceful life in Jacksonville. What? Are you? The fuck?
Like,
Also, how the Fireflies will distribute the vaccine? What about the people on the continent? Exactly.
You can't write. You can't.
But wait. So I'm confused because did he say that they somehow reconnected in Part 2? I don't understand how. He's dead.
Trying to reconnect.
Yeah.
So
this is just headcanon. It's just such headcanon. Dooming humanity because he didn't let Ellie die. Well, it's obviously not the case since humanity's still around 4 years later, and it seems like things are improving for humanity. Because you think that it was a peaceful life he was living.
It's possible he wasn't aware of the narrative of The Last of Us 1 that said that this wasn't a sure thing, that this was done before, didn't amount to anything.
No, this is something that people forget to research, because I researched it a little bit. Fungus and animals, because humans are animals, are really close in the DNA comparison. That's why all fungicides are cream, not in vaccine. You can't drink or take a fungi pill because that would kill you.
Yeah.
That's why you can't make a vaccine for fungus.
But that's the cure.
Because
death.
That's why all.
So the Fireflies are killing all these people to make a vaccine, when in reality we just need to have the cream for athlete's foot.
Oh, here's Mike Testa. Look
Also,
at this. This is great. Oh, boo-hoo! You killed Abby's humanity. Wow, I understood that. That's great. Good job, Mike.
Yeah.
It was coherent.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I just cannot believe that he's now gone to dooming humanity.
I mean, he didn't really doom humanity. Ellie's still around. They could still make a cure.
It doesn't matter. We don't need a cure at this point. The cure is pointless at this point.
I know, but
also you
could still try if you wanted to. That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
You don't just give up.
You would. No. You can't try to make a cure by what they are trying to make a vaccine, because even if you make a vaccine, you will basically kill all the people you vaccinated, because fungi and animals are really close in the DNA spectrum.
Yeah. It's impossible to do. This shows that the writers didn't do their research with it.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
Well, don't play devil's advocate with a guy who doesn't even know what side of the fence he's on.
How are you gonna do a cream for a fungus that is in your brain?
I don't know. All I know is this guy he's up and down more than a fucking whore in the back alley, right?
Don't forget about the spores, because you get
Yeah,
infected
you've got
by
the spores. Yeah, I know, and it's just.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
They
is
really
stupid.
didn't
Let's
think
just keep
about
going.
this.
Let's just keep going because
Fungi
I've
in
just
the
said.
medical world, fungus in medical world is really hard to cure. That's why so much
Yeah, but
people die from it.
I know. It just doesn't seem. It just seems like Naughty Dog doesn't seem to understand that. They just want to go about theme.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
it's retarded.
Everything about The Last of Us 2 comes from this stupid retcon that supposedly the vaccine was going to work when it wasn't, and it's impossible to do. And this is where they all get this headcanon from. That if Ellie had just died, the world would go back to the way it was pre-apocalypse within like 6 weeks. And it's like, that's not going to happen.
I don't know why Ellie thinks that, but okay.
But I don't know why all these people who are doing these reviews think that.
I know, but
it's just stupid. And the fact that now
from Ellie.
Yeah, but now we've gone to dooming humanity. This guy has gone from peaceful life to dooming humanity. That is such a leap. Just in the desperation. Yeah, in the desperation to make his point work. He's gone against everything he said in this video to this just to try and make his stupid opinion work. If you've got to do that, then you have to admit that if you've got to contradict yourself to make your point's not good. And all he's done in this video is contradict.
But it is his point.
He does have a point. Unfortunately, it's on his head. Smug might get that reference. But it's... I'm just done. I'm tired, I'm old, I don't care. I've actually got a beer out, I don't care anymore. Fuck this.
Here is John Doe, the average Joe. The vid really relies on The Last of Us 1 OST to hold it up. Wasn't that the OST from the second game? Or rather the scene where he plays the guitar in the second game. I could be wrong. Anyway, we're almost done.
What part?
It's not a big deal. I think he's exhausted his points, and now he's going into dramatic stuff. So.
Of Joel, his legacy, about what he did. And if we think about it in that way, yeah, it is about Joel, even though he's not there. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says. When Joel died, he died like a motherfucking Don. Like
a what?
Like a motherfucking what?
Like a motherfucking dog.
Even though he's
not
there.
No, he's not the Don.
I don't care what anybody says. When Joel died, he died like a motherfucking Don. Like a true man.
Okay, that's enough. We're done.
He died like a
strike three.
That is enough for me. That's the third time he's true man, and I'm just like, dude, you are.
Yeah.
You are done.
Yeah.
The Dom? Is that what he said? I don't know.
A Don. What is he talking about? Is he a mob boss? Like what is he saying?
He died like a motherfucking Don. What?
As in the Don from Captain Marvel?
Marvel? Yeah.
The Dom.
But the thing is, I like this idea of he died like a man by getting jumped on the back and having his head smashed in.
Yeah, I got jumped
That's
once.
not dying
I
like
fought
a
like
man.
A man.
Yeah. He did nothing. He just fucking gave up. What a cunt.
He didn't have his backpack.
He didn't have anything.
Anyway, that was not the way I thought it would go. Start off so well.
I'm gonna. Was it Royo in the chat? Just towards Matthias. So when the game tells you there can be a vaccine, you have to accept that, or you have to point out that fungal human zombies shouldn't be in the game. No, we're pointing out the fact that a vaccine wouldn't work. To deal with the fungal human.
You also understand they've done this before. They found other people like Ellie.
Failed.
It didn't work. Whatever they were looking for could not be found. So there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would have helped a bit, but there was no guarantee that Ellie was the missing link.
Yeah, but the problem is this whole thing about the vaccine comes from one group of people who are doing the vaccine.
Right.
And it's quite clear that in The Last of Us, they're not fully to be trusted. It's only a retcon in 2 to push forward. You're using real life logic for that, not Last of Us science. Last of Us science shows it doesn't work. They've failed before with Last of Us science. It's in the game.
There's enough knowledge, real life knowledge on The Last of Us, because the fungus that they use it as a basis was the cordyceps.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but this is the thing. You can't just say you can't. There's no guarantee.
Even if it is.
Yeah, The Last of Us scientists say they can make one, but that's because they think they can. No. This is just them saying they can do it when it's shown that they can't do it.
All right, guys.
Yeah, especially when
I'm not going to argue with it. It's at the end of the day, they can't make the vaccine. It's not going to work.
Anyway, let's get to street memes.
There's just no way to work.
Let's see what Punished Bearserker did for us. Thank you again.
Stream memes.
Yeah.
This was from yesterday, in case you guys weren't around yesterday.
Something actually good.
This was who's the character here? Not Ratchet, but the main character from Robots. I can't remember his name.
Rodney.
Rodney, thank you, sir. So this is obviously a joke.
Is it with Ewan McGregor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I found out he was the voice for that.
Voice actor.
Right.
Hello there.
That surprised me. I didn't know he was the voice.
All right, here I don't know what.
So that Robots came out at the same time as Revenge of the Sith as well. Oh my god!
Really?
So he was literally doing the hello there at the exact time. Cool.
Okay, I don't know what this is about, but apparently Jean Bruce Batcard is a thing. I don't know what reference is this. How I know I talked about Batman at the intro, just to put things in perspective, but I don't think we ever drew this connection to Star Trek. Anyway,
no.
the way of Punished Bearserker is very confusing.
John sizing up Abby and her group 2020 decolor.
Anyway, here's another one. Joel sizing up Abby and her group is a decolorized version.
That's my favorite. Oh God!
It's so accurate as well. Oh.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out what the next one is, though. That's weird.
Okay, so there's bears, and there's me, and I don't know. Is that indoctrination theory? What is it?
Oh no, it's a big it sandwich.
A bigot? Oh, a bigot sandwich.
Yeah.
Clever.
Okay.
Very clever.
That's very clever.
When Abby meets any human being named Joel. So anyway, I started blasting. Who is that? Who is the head? Who's the guy in the head?
I think it is
the nanomachines
guy.
That's Senator Armstrong? Really?
Yeah, it is the nanomachine guys on the. It is an SNL skit from Danny DeVito.
No, it's Danny DeVito.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Danny DeVito.
It isn't, yeah.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, I just don't get the head reference. Anyway, that's fine. Ray. Hand DNA. Oi. That's That would creep most of the audience out if that happened. Anyway, what's going on here? Road rage. Okay, so Bears is having road rage. He's making memes. The video. There's Mike Testa. Just super chats.
Smut, are you twerking?
I don't know what the hell's going on here. I think Bears is a little angry for something. I don't know what's going on.
No, Bears is throwing road rage at your videos and making memes, and Mike Test is just throwing super chats at your video.
All right, last one. Does your dog bite? No, but it can hurt you in other ways. Here's Mike Testa's super chat. Hawk, that lady, ever explain what lightsaber is? Everyone's like, what the? Oh dear.
I love the place, the little Mike Tester head. It's just so it's just perfect. These are great Bears. I love them.
They are great. He's now a meme lord.
All right, let's finish this off with, of course, Mike Testa super chats. He died like a baby seal. If anything, it's sad. Aw. Mike, you're getting better. I can understand that one. All right. Guys, thanks for watching. Go outside or pet a dog. And we'll see you guys next time. And then Hawk says bye at the end of the video. Oh, okay. See, we're used to our sign-off now.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that was it. We got it all, guys. That was almost 3 hours worth. And
was it?
Yeah, it was
I think it was 2 hours, something like that.
The first 9 minutes went by really quickly. We were just watching the video like, if this is good, everything makes sense. He's describing the scene and everything's okay. And then after that, just boom. Everything went down. So here's Mike Testa one more time. I kind of walked into that with the hand DNA thing. I don't know. Well, you walk into everything, Mike. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's how the style of your sentences work. So, but yes, that was every opportunity for Punished Bearserker to have fun.
Yep.
Anyway, I think we're good. That was fun. Kind of annoying, but kind of silly, and kind of okay at the start, and then it went downhill. But that's okay. That happens all the time on the Smudcast. We're used to it by now. But thanks for the suggestion. It was a good idea. A lot better than other videos we've covered. His ideas were not nuts. His ideas were redundant and contradictory. Other than that, he wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
So I respect.
Yeah.
I can respect.
I didn't have to someone to mention Karl Marx and the Communist Manifesto as a reason for Joel being disrespected. It
wasn't some crazy capitalist excuse to go punch a Nazi because Joel was wrong or something. It's like, no, it's just.
Yeah.
Oh, like the robots.
God. Anyway.
That was ridiculous.
Keep the suggestions coming, guys.
Watch.
We got so many to go through, but it's always nice to have an option to vote on, and you do the voting anyway. So keep them coming. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you real soon. Have yourself